Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2 Early Access Edition. And last time, we had another run going down. We thought we were getting close to some important threshold for a number of Chronos kills in order to get some sort of major plot progression. Hasn't happened yet, and I'm starting to wonder if there might be some other thing we need to do, like technically we haven't gotten a successful run yet with the axe, so maybe we need to do that, or maybe we have to finish all of the crafting recipes, or at least some important ones, and only then will we start to see some big things start to happen. But at least for now, I think what we may do is, dare I say, we may bump up the rivals all the way, and or at least for now, so we get the rival Prometheus fight, which we have yet to see. Now I know at the moment this is our previous run's weapon, which is saying that we ought to go downward. But I'm hesitant to do this because I have not liked at least the Polyphemus rival fight, and obviously you have to go through that pretty quickly on your surface runs. The Ares fight, actually, at least from the 1 or 2 times we've done it, I have kind of liked it, and as I said, we've never seen Prometheus, so I think this is going to be really tough. And for that reason, despite how the game really seems to want us to use the staff, this might even be the second time in a row this has been the bonus weapon, I think instead we go for more or less whatever we feel most comfortable with, which generally I think would be the blades for me. I know we do use them pretty often, although I think we've been using these two guys more recently as of late. Before we do hop in, I might, given what I was just saying, see if we can afford some crafting recipes that I might have otherwise thought, you know, not really worth it. Like these two, for example, seemed awfully pricey for me, and the benefit just didn't seem that good. But on the off chance that, for whatever reason, you do need them in order to have some other, either later crafting recipes become available, or main plot-related things, if those are hidden behind these upgrades, then let's do them.
So mote it be.
Okay. So that one was what? Automatically planting stuff. This one automatically sets our keepsake at the start of a run.
As you say.
See if anything new pops up. Seemingly not. While reviewing boons in the Book of Shadows, press Y to track any offering requirements. Oh, I actually don't remember seeing this, or maybe I just saw the price and never bothered to read it. But does that mean things like duo boons, legendary boons, we can see, oh, we technically still need this in order for that to even be a possibility? Because we've talked many times about, in theory, what we thought some of those prerequisites might be. But that might be now something we can confirm officially. And then, of course, this is the big one that we're waiting for, and I doubt is going to be available until we see the full release. But as for the plan here, I think it probably will be Aspect of Millenway on the blades. Golly's been doing pretty good work for us, so I think we will keep her. I know we've used her for several runs now, but I think she's subtly been helping quite a bit. And I do like the gold purse, although, oh, if we prioritize, does that mean this now comes back at the start of each run? What with the new incantation that we just did? This is generally what we start with. Although I am starting to wonder, given how this run, a surface run with rival Polyphemus, is very front-loaded, sometimes it takes a while before your build really kicks off. Is there something else, keepsake-wise, that might give us a little bit more of an immediate boost? I mean, that can be the case with the gold purse, but it's not. It does rely on there being good shops, and at some point that will certainly be the case. But are you going to get all the big things you're looking for on the first floor, or could you do something like take this? You don't really know what it's going to activate on, but you do have the rare opportunity to guarantee that you get a fountain before the boss fight, so this actually will activate before Polyphemus every time. So that's kind of tempting in some ways, but I feel like maybe I'm overthinking that. So, the thing is... Okay. So the Blades, Eris is the bonus boss. That's good, so we do have the potential to get some extra resources from this. Obviously, by activating 3 rounds of Rivals, that does mean we're over-fearing it up. And I actually don't know if that means that that will bump up the future fear value that we're going to need to complete in order to get Nightmare from future Blades runs. Because it does go up whenever you succeed. But is this going to actually accelerate that? Hopefully not. Because we're voluntarily making it more challenging. Here goes nothing.
Going up.
My goal for this run is to see Prometheus. I'm not expecting for us to actually win. Just setting expectations here. If we do, of course, fantastic. Amazing bonus. But my goal here is just to see the boss fight that we've never seen before. And I think the big barriers are, as I said, going to be primarily the Prometheus, or the Polyphemus fight. And Eris to a certain extent as well. Don't want to overlook that just because we had some success with it in the past. Also, I only just realized this waterfall that has sideways shades. Do like the hammer right off the bat. This could be quite good. Let's see. Attacks deal 150 damage, striking foes from behind. We do have the aspect that gives us a ton of backstab damage as well, so this could be incredible for us. Otherwise, just a straightforward, flat 20 power, which with a fast weapon like the Blades is useful. Special deals a lot of damage to armor. I mean, this could pretty quickly just eat through all of an enemy's armor, which is not going to be meaningful for the big boss fights, but along the way, I mean, I feel like that's still not what we're looking for here. This tempts me a lot, but it does mean we're a little more magic dependent, since our charge attack is typically the way we make this happen, although it is still possible to just sneak up behind enemies. This is always going to be active, of course, so would love both of them. Thinking about also Polyphemus in particular, it is hard to get up close to him at times, let alone with a backstab. I'm going to do it though.
Superior might.
Yeah, because there you go. And that's almost a one-shot. That was a one-shot with a backstab. Okay.
Looks almost peaceful from afar.
So, as has been the case with... We have a formula. We have a formula for our Blades runs. It is typically using Aphrodite with the attack boon. Then, ideally, something like Demeter or some other form of crowd control to make it safer for us to get up close and personal for our very close range attack and potentially backstab.
A boon.
That doesn't always happen. There's a lot of golden urns here. Apollo does have a fairly high damage attack boon. Now that's the main reason why we choose Aphrodite in the past. But the other thing is that he gives extra AoE, which, as I said, would otherwise be one of the main weaknesses of this weapon.
You got Kronos, didn't you, Sunshine? Last night at least, but that's the Deathless Titans for you. Never staying down for long. Though you've something in mind for that, my sister says.
Oh? I assume he's referring to Artemis? Okay, so another realization we made last time, maybe even on prior runs as well, but rarity boons are in this awkward in-between place where, sure, they're better than common boons in the short term, but at least having one common rarity boon means you could then later upgrade it with that Narcissus keepsake that we were talking about at the beginning, and that gives you a huge rarity upgrade. So there is something to be said for making a point of doing that, but as I was also saying, I think we can't get too clever here when it comes to waiting for long-term benefits, because the hardest part of this run may end up being the Polyphemus fight. So if we have stuff that is not going to take effect until after that, then that could be trouble. Now, that being said, we do immediately see Aphrodite, which does immediately make me wonder if we ought to have saved that slot to see if we could have gotten it. I mean, there's a chance she's going to offer an exchange for a higher rarity attack boon. There is also Hermes, who is typically good the earlier you take him. Same can often be said for Medea, who obviously will make an appearance for that fight. We do already have Apollo precedent. Maybe we wait on Apollo just to see... Or we already have one Apollo boon, so we have some potential for synergies, really, is more the important aspect there. So I think we wait until after Aphrodite to see if we do happen to get one of those attack sacrifice boons. Then Seleni's tricky in this particular circumstance, because I love a highly leveled Hex. So often, that is a game changer, and potentially our most important component of a build. However, it is one of those things that, in the early stages, oftentimes isn't that strong. And that means if Polyphemus is going to be an issue, the Hex may not be helping all that much. So I think we'll still go Hermes and Medea first, because of the long-term value. Oh, speaking of a little bit of extra value, these are still the kinds of things that could be... Oh, that's Polyphemus himself. We've seen this once or twice. It doesn't happen very often. Oh, I did not even see you. Okay. I was like, why isn't the encounter over yet? So yeah, these early Hermes boons can give us great long-term value. So in a vacuum, this would usually be what you want to do. But again, Polyphemus early, might a different approach be better?
Provided you survive and all.
So let's see. Sprint is 15% faster, and we get a barrier that ignores one instance of damage. This is really good, especially if you get it higher rarity. Now, it is common rarity, which means we could potentially target this as the recipient of that Narcissus keepsake a little bit later on. Otherwise, charge moves are faster. That is pretty meaningful when our charged attack is what we plan on building around for that huge backstab bonus. This could also be good. I do like all these. I mean, this is obviously defensive, whereas this is more offensive, although in a way, honestly, you could make the case it's more for defensive purposes, because we're vulnerable while we're in the process of charging up the attack, and that's when we're probably going to end up taking most of our damage. So if we can pull it off more quickly, we've a smaller window in which we can get hit. I think I actually will take that.
Greater might.
The upside of the other one, especially if we were to upgrade it, I think would be higher. And it's definitely the safer choice. I'm getting a little aggressive with that move, but we'll see. Okay. Because the other thing that I'm also thinking about is, we've done a few things now that are based around using that charged backstab attack. And that does cost magic, so double magic might not be out of the question here, but let's see what we can get from Medea.
For those who showed me scorn, I show you this.
Oh, there is a fishing spot here
filled with
as well.
toxic herbs.
Into the purse.
Envenomed fang. You're back.
Indeed. And we are basically going to be fighting each other in the not-so-distant future.
What are these pylons doing everywhere, Lady Medea? They control the barrier before the docks. That much is clear. Perhaps the Titan's legions use them to coordinate attacks.
They are the product of a very sick mind, imprisoning so many shades in the tiniest enclosures wherein all their psyche may be drained. Can you imagine, sorceress?
It's Medea, isn't it? I'm realizing I hadn't given much of any thought to the pylons until just now, but it really sounds like this is Medea who's behind it.
That's terrible. I hadn't realized the pylons worked that way. Though who keeps fixing them? You even have one here.
Oh boy! I wonder.
The hideous thing won't seem to go away. Keeps rematerializing practically each night. Though I get so caught up with all my cauldron work, I seldom pay it any heed.
It's almost like the only person who would be capable from an understanding standpoint and from a being in this city standpoint is standing right in front of us. Oh, and here she is with one of these these very objects every time we run into her. What an odd coincidence. Okay. After a foe is slain, there's a 20% chance to drop 10 healing, limit 1 per location. We've taken this at least once or twice before. It is surprisingly easy to miss that healing drop. Your foe joins the encounter, they take a range of damage. We've taken this before as well. I can't remember how effective it has been for us. Ooh. This tempts me. Technically, would be even more effective if we had Tula, but of course at the moment we have all of our Death Defiances outside of the bonus one that we could have gotten from Tula. And so if we do find ourselves having to use one in, say, the Polyphemus fight, which has certainly been the case, or has been more than one, with the rival Polyphemus in the past, that could be a nice little ace up our sleeve, a little bit of damage control, so if things start getting ugly, that might actually be the thing that finishes the job for us. So I think I might actually take that. Because I think it's more often than not, hopefully, going to activate in boss encounters. I do still see the fish. I deliberately waited for it because it occurred to me maybe Medea has something that gives us bonuses when we collect resources, though I don't think we've seen that thus far.
Here, fishy.
Great Hecate guide you.
Oh? I almost fell for that one. That's a long wait, but there we go.
It's a zeal.
The
I don't know if we've
Acheron provides
seen one of those before. But okay, it's oh, that's harsh. It's a little bit of
Shamblers.
something. Oh, we get the backstab damage as well. So even if this run goes horribly wrong, we can at least cash in a little bit of bones from that, because obviously we are not taking the bonus bones weapon. I don't even remember. Oh, right, it was the staff. Would have been the bonus weapon. Okay, so now we've 4 rooms remaining. I'm thinking it's Aphrodite next. That's 1. Depending on what we get from that, it might be Apollo. That'd be 2. And then I know the double Hestia is a little bit tempting, because there could be some potential there for Hestia synergies. There might be some short-term value to be gained from that, but you do have to wonder. Long-term, of course, Selene would be nice, even if a Hex that is not upgraded is not going to be doing much for the boss fight. The other thing is that double magic, specifically for a potentially very long Polyphemus fight, that could be meaningful as well. Where was the Aphrodite room? Here it is. Okay, so one could argue that this is actually the room that we may get the least out of, especially since we do already have an attack boon. And that would have otherwise likely been the thing that we are looking for from Aphrodite, as is so often the case. It is nice, though, having that extra AoE on the Apollo attack so that we can double backstab. So that's pretty cool. Please don't do that, sir. We are not done here. Oh, I did not even see that guy. Here, for example. Don't do that. Okay. So yeah, AoE on the attack, at least for area clear. These rooms with multiple enemies in them, not bad.
Apollo's been in touch already, How quick to lend fair goddesses a hand. Though, nowhere to be found back when your brother needed aid.
True. Reference to Hades 1. Also, this is not a duo boon, despite the reference to Apollo. Okay, so... Ooh. This is really nice for straightforward damage, although I think we'd like for this to be higher rarity. Could potentially be worthy of one of those big upgrades later on, but I do really like the idea of taking this, because our attack is so close range, we're going to be near enemies in order to deal damage to them. Not going to have to really think about that much at all. And that means we should have some magic sustain against Polyphemus, which would be really nice. And also inflicting weak on Polyphemus would be really nice too. So Let's take it. Already epic rarity, very nice from that standpoint as well. Have we seen any of the bonus rooms yet? If I walk past them?
You'll be out in no time, Shades.
So usually we get a few. Now sometimes if the first few rooms don't have any, then it's a little bit backloaded.
Next
But-
pylon, then.
We shall see. Okay, so we did get, I think, solid value from that Aphrodite room. Maybe not the kind we were expecting, but it should still be helpful. So now, where do we stand? That means maybe double magic room is not as necessary as it once felt. So that means Apollo, maybe Selene feels a little more worthwhile now, and then that'd leave us with either one Hestia or one Hera, and it's a little hard to get excited about those. I mean, we could still go for the double magic, but let's go here. I think this is the one obvious room we still have. Oh.
Good worked.
I would like to believe that I got that before you did.
Taste for blood. Come get your fill for now.
Okay, so this generally means we're going to compete for him to see who gets the most kills and potentially earn some more gold in the process. But we have, at times, found ourselves taking a lot of damage from these encounters. Also, it does matter which one we go after. I don't even know. Oh, that came. I also did not want to destroy that at that point in time. Hold on. Who's Mark Bennett? Please explain. Please show. Rude. Stop that. I swear they just stopped showing up with the marks on them, which is a little bit strange. Took a little bit of damage in the process, but we do get a little bit of bonus gold.
You seem to know the boatmen pretty well. Worked together before?
That reminds me. One other thing that I was recently thinking about was we have unlocked several of the hidden aspects, some of which we still need the crafting resources to get, but there are a few that we have yet to get. The axe one, which, you know, we probably need to use an axe to get, but we had at least one hidden aspect that we unlocked by carrying a weapon aspect that was named after someone who we were speaking to, namely Cersei, I think, with the staff. And so then, naturally, I looked at all the other weapon aspects and thought, are there any other ones that are named after people who we might actually run into over the course of a run? Charon with the axe would potentially be one of them, so I am suspicious that that may be the way that you unlock the hidden axe aspect, and that would explain why we haven't seen it yet, is because we are very rarely using that axe. Then there might have been one of... Oh, I think Selene on the black coat also might work that way. So those are my two hypotheses.
I've had occasion to visit your realm in the past. The boatman is my supplier. And evidently yours as well. Buying up all the merchandise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've not exactly been discreet.
I forget, does Heracles ever go into the shop and take an item before we do, like Nemesis does? I think he has, at least once before, right? Okay, well, we're taking this.
I accept this message.
Let's see. No, this is not what we're looking for. If anything, we would have wanted it the other way around with the attack boon in the Aphrodite room. So this is the primary cast boon for him, whereas this is technically a supporting cast boon, right? Both low rarity. Honestly, I'm a little tempted to re-roll here. In part because, did we end up taking any of those common rarity boons previously that we were talking about as potential upgrade targets? I don't think so. And so, whatever, if we were to take one of these, it would be either one of the options, if not the guaranteed recipient of that rarity reward, and I just don't love that, because I feel like there would be better targets for that. We do now have 3 rerolls per run, so I think we can use at least one early, and granted, these are all bad as well. At least when it comes to rarity. Now, this one, getting a rarity upgrade potentially later on, might feel a little bit better about that, because it would potentially make our attack really strong. percentage chance is just so low at this point that it's hard to get excited about it. This one, defensively, is kind of nice. Again, I guess the rarity doesn't matter too much with that. You mostly do it for the sake of the days rather than the revenge damage, because it makes it, it's a defensive boost when perhaps you are most in need of additional defense. But since we're looking for a potential rarity increased target, I think we go for the other one. And then now we finally get these rooms. These were the ones I was looking for. Okay, that's a fire boon. We have a lot of air. One fire boon when we didn't even have any at that point. It doesn't mean much. They do have some precedent. Oh, that was bad. We do have some precedent for fire boon giving gods and goddesses, namely Apollo. Let's see. I'm half tempted to buy this and have it delivered immediately so that we get it in advance of the Polyphemus fight. So that's the kind of thing where we can get front-loaded value, especially given how we took the Charon keepsake for the extra gold. I think we do that.
Shouldn't take too long.
It's expensive, don't get me wrong, but Demeter.
I detested Kronos even in my youth. Almost as much as my own Titan father. We took our vengeance, though, on Kronos, Hyperion, and the rest. But I was a fool to think we'd never see any of them again.
Okay. Now, getting freeze is usually the exact combo we were looking for with her. Charge attack does more damage but uses more magic. That could be really good. This is utility / defense for the sake of making it so we can more safely move in with a charge attack, whereas this is when we're using a charge attack, it's much more effective. Obviously, it uses more magic, which, as I said, especially when we don't have that much right now, and we're pretty close to going into a Polyphemus fight where we could run out of magic, is a little bit of a concern. The fact that we do have what is hopefully a very good source of magic restoration, maybe we can still handle that, and this would also be something I'm not averse to getting a rarity upgrade later on, because I assume that boosts the damage bonus. Let's do it. Is there anything else here? Extra magic. Yeah, I mean, it takes 5 encounters, so it would only arrive after that fight. I think we draw the line there. We do still have the normal shop as well. We only have 2 rooms left on this floor. So one useful thing from that Demeter boon is now it also gives us a little more direction here. Still a little hard to make up our mind, but maybe, given how we just have a little more firepower, we feel a little bit better about going... Oh. Feel a little bit better about going Selene here. Yeah, because that backstab damage is ginormous now. At least with the charge attack it is. Ooh, hello. Turn. We don't technically need to use the charge attack in order to get a backstab, but that is generally the easiest way. Technically, it's not even guaranteed for it to happen when we do that, but often is the case.
I bid you shine for me again tonight.
Little star, you grow in strength and knowledge rapidly. How proud your headmistress must be that you are able to surpass her finally.
Oh?
Yet we know the burden that you bear.
Are you referring to us just defeating Hecate, which obviously we've been doing for a very long time now? Oh, snap. Okay. Take your pick. All of them have the potential for duo boons. Let's see. Some of these we do have some experience with. Hexfire is a beam that deals 800 damage for 2 seconds. This is the one we've taken the duo boon of most often. It is generally one of my favorite hexes, although it is one that is very reliant on getting more upgrades because it does require you to stand still while you do it. Otherwise, you're getting little to no value from it, so this would be tough in the Polyphemus fight. Long term could be incredible, though. Hex turns you impervious, living nightmare. We took this in the previous one, I think. This was combined with Aphrodite. Honestly, I didn't notice the duo aspect of it all that much, which maybe I just wasn't paying super close attention to it. It's kind of hard to do that with this one, just because you feel like you're in such a rush during that period when it's active. Whereas this one, I don't think we've ever taken. I'm guessing it's Demeter. Who is the duo? It must be, right? Must be Demeter, since that kind of goes along the lines of freeze, the enemies being slower. So it seems like defensive, and so I have no idea what the duo boon does in this case. This one, the duo aspect just gives you more damage. I mean, that's probably the case more often than not. This one also is ready the most often. Given how we are already putting ourselves in a difficult situation, I feel like I'm tempted by the familiarity with Lunar Ray. I'm a little tempted, though, by these because they're a little more defensive, which, especially in a Polyphemus fight that is very challenging in terms of not taking, or wanting to avoid taking damage from big hits and having poison applied to you, all those things, having imperviousness or being able to slow enemies down could be really convenient even in the relatively short term. So yeah, that's the thing, I guess. Short term for these two, whereas this is much more of a long-term thing. I think I'm still going to go for it, though.
You may once again direct the lunar ray.
Once again, she knows. She knows it's the one we always take. Oh, I did not see that.
See that, Golly? Why, thank you.
Well, with all the golly runs we've been doing as of late, we probably do have a lot of those types of resources now. I'm surprised by no side rooms here. There is still one more full room remaining, and I'm hoping we get more side rooms there, because it does still feel like we've been a little bit light on that front. So now...
Where else can we go?
Now this is tough. How much magic do we have? We have 100. And it uses 20 to do the charged attack. We can get some back from you. So maybe we make an executive decision here. We say double magic is not all that necessary. Hestia... She's probably one of the goddesses that we take the least often. She just, it feels like she rarely shows up. Hera has been showing up a lot more as of late. She does give area of effect, generally speaking, which would cover for one of the weaknesses of this weapon. We have already done that to a certain extent by taking Apollo, who also is area of effect oriented. I just don't feel like I have as much of a sense of what good stuff we might get from Hestia. Hera feels a little more familiar. I think I'm going to go with Hera for that reason. It's not who I was going to go. And we dodge that with our... I think we have something like a flat 2% dodge chance, maybe less than that with Golly. Ooh, I don't like you. This is the hex that we picked up, though you probably should know that. Should look familiar, what with, as I said, how often it's been that we've taken it. There we are. Nab this real quick. I think we actually did need... Oh, no, not this one. There are definitely some mining resources that we need on the surface, but I guess that was not one of them.
They said you won't come out for being above ground. Some underworld curse holding you back. I'd not believe the hearsay for a moment, and sure enough, perhaps they merely fear your potential.
Perhaps. Now, admittedly, I don't know exactly what we're looking for here. Sprint with Hitch, though, high rarity, that might be it. We don't yet have a special boon. In fact, ooh. Upon closer inspection, I am realizing that our only direct damage dealing boon is our attack boon, which is now quite well upgraded, especially once you consider the hammer upgrade, but does make me a little concerned given how range limited it still is. This, honestly, is not bad from a damage standpoint. I don't like how it requires contact Not just being near enemies, but actual contact. But easily afflicting enemies with hitch is also tempting. I think I am going to take this, but that's...
By her grace.
I think that could be a dangerous one. One that doesn't necessarily give us much in the way of short-term gains. So not great for Polyphemus, but hoping we can still pick up one more good boon from the shop. Oh. These mini-rooms, not that you can ever rely on them being a huge deal, but to only get, I think, 3 total, which is maybe about average, maybe slightly below that, but they basically just gave us extra boon counters. That's, again, just not giving us much of anything in the way of short-term benefits. Still not enough for infusions at this rate. So it doesn't help us there. We don't need healing. We're ready to go in. We did blow through most, if not all, of our blocks. We might have one remaining on Golly. We are hoping for some good stuff here, though. Okay, we do get Aphrodite and a heart. Possibly even worth picking up the magic. Let's start here, though.
In the name of Hades.
Ooh. Huge damage boost on the special. With a very high rarity Aphrodite here. Problem is that, again, it's nearby foes, and we already specialize against nearby foes, so if anything, we were kind of looking for a ranged option here. Now, granted, Aphrodite is always close range, high damage stuff, so I guess we couldn't really have expected for any improvements there, but it does mean that if we are looking for the kind of support boon that we were talking about before, like from Demeter, we are relying very heavily on that coming from the cast, since this would take the special slot. So do we feel okay about that? Otherwise, bonus damage a little bit. Cast, inflict... Oh, that is the Aphrodite cast. Much lower rarity. Do like inflicting weak. Dragging foes toward the center as well. I did not remember that. I feel like we've never taken this. I think I am still going to go this route, though, just because of the high rarity, the high damage. Definitely taking this. Question is whether this is worth it, and the answer is that ideally it wouldn't be necessary because of the big Aphrodite mana or magic regeneration, but if we ever find ourselves feeling like we need to be hanging out right next to an enemy just for the sake of recharging magic, then I feel like we're kind of setting ourselves up for trouble. So
Steady now.
I think it allows us to play it more safely. Does mean we're spending fairly aggressively. We do still have some magic, or rather some gold remaining here, even once we get into the next floor. Okay, so this, as I was saying, despite technically, obviously, being the first boss, it might actually be one of the most challenging ones on this run, in large part because we haven't had a lot of time to power up, although rarity-wise, we've been doing pretty well. I think the biggest issue is we are very close range, as I was just saying.
More company. You fixed it, meat? This witch is back. There's bodies everywhere. I've had it good, but you're about to get it bad.
Did we have the rival Polyphemus last time we faced him, or did we deactivate him only to reactivate him this time? I don't remember.
Lady Medea, aren't you supposed to stand with me here rather than with him? Though the will of night will never to be questioned, and this is all part of the vows I spoke.
Yeah, we did do it to ourselves.
A night brings terror, sorceress. A fear of the impossible and the unknown. I merely am fulfilling my responsibility unto that cause. So please, address Lord Polyphemus here, not me.
Lord Polyphemus? That's a little much, if I do say so myself. So, we have, on at least one prior occasion, used one, if not sometimes even all of our Death Defiances on this fight. But here goes nothing.
Lord Polyphemus.
Okay. He noticed that too.
After all, lords tend to have big appetites. Now come on over and I'll add you to the corpses on the ground.
So admittedly, it has been a little while since we last fought him. There's the poison aspect, but I don't exactly remember how he tends to apply that. Which is a little concerning.
The eye of night.
Indeed. Oh, is it that? I knew that was going to be a grab. Not sure if that was escape just because... Oh, she's the one who does the poison. Is it only her?
What scratched me?
The shepherd's flock.
Ooh, that was a really nice window for that. I did not realize that would be a thing. That's tempting. Tried to turn that into a backstab, but it didn't happen. Ooh, worth it? Question mark? Okay. Oh, I saw most of those poison projectiles coming, so I thought I was avoiding most of them, and then, of course, there's another one. Snuck up on me. Okay. Is a little bit of a warning when Medea shows up, although as for what exactly her skill is going to be, that is at times a mystery. That did not mean for that to... Well, okay, that's ridiculous. That single skill hit us 3 times and poisoned us. I just think the design of this fight is very poor. And that is, I think, a very, very strong argument for just that point. This is still going to have enough range to hit us, I think? No? I'm surprised that didn't hit us. Well, that was very unfortunate timing. I hear Medea, but I don't see her, which is concerning. Oh, that was bad. I'm very surprised that didn't hit us. Hey, Medea. Please go away. Special sauce, you say? I don't like the sound of that either. Oh, that's because that one has poison. And I was stuck. And that still counts as poison. This is just such a frustrating encounter. I just think, I've said it before, but I think poison overall is a very frustrating mechanic to deal with. The fact that basically everything can apply poison. Sometimes the poison effects have a cooldown, I think. It's not necessarily the case all the time. But the way that they can cover basically the whole arena with poison effects of some variety, potentially with the ability to hit you 3 times with one attack, is just insane. I don't really understand how that got past testing, to be honest with you. That's Medea. There are also so many ways in which he can just trap you in a corner where there's no way to avoid taking damage, and many of his skills actually deal damage in a much larger area than the visual icon would suggest, which I think is also a pretty egregious issue. It's like, it's pretty straightforward to just have skills do damage in the area where it says they're going to do damage. Feels pretty dishonest to set it up otherwise. That's poison 1, and I'm amazed we didn't get hit by one of those poisoning abilities that time. We have already gotten way more value out of the Hex in this fight than I had expected. For what it's worth, that was really frustrating again. Look at how much damage that does. That was bad timing. It's a mean sheep. There's nothing I can do on either of those. Nothing I can do. Legitimately. What am I supposed to do? Dodge through, do this. Would have potentially been enough to kill him had we been able to get the full duration out of it. Hoping that was going to hit him as well. Dodge through this, do this. We got hit in the process. I don't know how. But we did kill him. We blew through all but one Death Defiance, I think. When, honestly, I think we did pretty well in that fight. Like, execution-wise, I think we did quite well. That felt good from an execution standpoint. And yet, we lost 2 Death Defiances and took absolutely humongous bursts of damage. Not even from poison building up on us, necessarily. For the most part, I was able to remove the poison almost immediately whenever we got it. And yet, somehow, the burst damage, the overlapping AoE of multiple hits, or the same attack hitting... We saw at least 3 times on at least 1 hit. Just ridiculous from a balance standpoint. It makes no sense to me. No sense at all. That is just egregiously bad.
Should I change things up?
Which is why I have no interest in ever activating the rival fight version of Polyphemus again. And the only reason we're doing it right now is because we are trying to go past him to Eris and ideally Prometheus if we can, but if we could somehow deactivate Polyphemus and only see the rival fight of those latter 2 bosses, I absolutely would. I absolutely would. Now, this... Did we end up... Hold on. Stick with this for a second. Did we end up deliberately taking something that we'd like to upgrade later on? Potentially, with this. That could benefit a lot from it. Moonbeam would be really useful as well to get our Hex even stronger as quickly as possible. As I said, got more value out of it than I anticipated. That's one of the reasons why I actually think that we did better in that fight than I had expected us to. That's the thing. I think that's, from a different standpoint, it's a really good sign of something is really wrong with this fight. I felt like we did far better in that fight than we had any other time we'd fought rival Polyphemus, and yet somehow we almost lost the run. Something's not adding up, you know? It should be, in general, any game, almost any circumstance, if you feel like you have performed well, you've executed well, you've played better than you have before, the result should be better. If you feel like you've played worse, haven't done as well, execution-wise, in general, the result should be worse. Unless, you know, maybe you have some, in the case of, like, roguelite games, such as Hades 2 and Hades 1, where each run is different. You might have some abilities that are stronger than others. You might have gotten luckier than some other runs. Maybe you can get away with some of the bad stuff. But that needs to be within reason. Otherwise, it becomes a game that is just too much up to chance. Or if it is, you know, the randomness of a given run that is deciding your fate more often than not. Or if it's that, you know, your performance has little to no effect on the outcome, then that is probably a very clear sign that something setup-wise is not right with the game. So I think this is probably the single worst encounter in the game right now. And the problem is, because it's the first boss fight, it is gatekeeping all the other rival fights, which I'm much more interested in seeing. And we might not get to the other ones, given how we used most of our Death Defiances there. So that stinks. I think we will still go with the Moonbeam. The nice thing about taking the Aromantic Vial, I still have never looked up how you pronounce this, because is it Vial? Is it just pronounced Vial, despite being spelled differently? I don't know. But the nice thing about this now is that we only have one common rarity boon, so we know it would hit that one that we really like, and it would be really effective. Whereas if we wait, we might pick up other common boons, at which points we have a chance of hitting something that may be less impactful. However, I think this has less short-term benefit, because we would need to hit one of the pools, one of the fountains, before this activates. So it's likely only going to happen at the end of the floor after the boss fight, at which point, okay, you know, that's not super helpful. Whereas Moonbeam, at least assuming we see at least one Selene room before the boss fight, this could be more of an immediate return. So I think I will go Moonbeam for that reason. Oh, we are so close to being able to afford that. That stinks. Of course, now you go hindsight 2020, you look back at all the things that we bought and you say, like the expedited delivery on one of the boons, I forget which one it was, but if not for that, we could have afforded this, and this would have been very helpful at this stage. I mean, these are both good. I think we probably will settle for them. Because again, I won't do the immediate delivery on these, because they should show up before the boss fight. But, we're still trying to front load to the extent possible, because we know that, things are going to be tricky.
Now then.
I mean, we had good luck with the rival Eris fight in the past, but I want to be a little cautious about getting too carried away, too overconfident about that, because we also we thought that the first of the rival Skilla fights was not too bad, and we coasted, maybe that's a strong word, but we did fairly well with our first encounter on that. Then on later runs found, okay, no, this is a little more challenging than we were giving it credit for, so that may still be the case for Eris. Don't want to rule that out. Yes, I know you like to attack immediately. This is the other. I mean, in general, it just feels like the surface floors are far worse when it comes to balancing, because we did actually have in the previous upwards run, we saw the first time where they did rebalance some of the enemies on the surface. I don't remember what all of them were. I think some of them were on Olympus, maybe the summit as well. I don't know to what extent they had ones on this floor, but the key challenge with this floor, at least before the boss, is there are lots of enemies that will off-screen shoot projectiles at you and you just won't see them until they hit you. Or they have melee attacks that lunge forward really far and have much greater range than you would at least expect them to be for a melee attack. And you can anticipate that to a certain extent if you see them charging up the melee. But the other thing is that they quickly go into a second and sometimes maybe even third melee attack after that, so you might dodge the first one, but then very often I find they hit me with the second or third attack. Okay, so I do see the Selene. Given how we took the Moonbeam, that is very much of interest to us. That was definitely overkill, but I did it anyway. Please stop that. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Tried to nothing personnel me. Why did that not hit me? That was weird. Okay, so this is big. The gold would have been helpful as well, don't get me wrong, but this means 9 points, so we can get up for the Apollo one, which gives us a lot more damage, and we can use it an additional time in the boss fight, potentially, although, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I also really like this. The one that means we don't have to stand still while it's doing its thing, and that costs a lot of points to get there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so we're one away from being able to get both. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take this, we're gonna go most of the way toward this. I'm gonna skip out on you for the time being. If we do get more Selene before the boss fight, that means we can hopefully get both this for the extra use with the Godsent component, and also throw that on as well. Maybe that'd even be enough for this too. So let's see. How would we like to set this up? Quicker charge up, or charge up over time. Gains power over time. Gives us armor. I think the charge up. I know this doesn't require that much magic spent to do it right now, but that number will increase once we take that. I think I do prefer this. Short term, while we are still stuck in one place as we do the Hex, there is something to be said for taking that. Now we go here. Okay, we'll get at least some armor for it. Means a little bit more damage over time. Get more damage. Oh, we actually can go all the way. Okay, my math was wrong. Excuse me. Maybe I was counting that one. More armor and boom. Okay, so that is actually huge.
Apollo shall be notified at once.
Some iron.
Don't know that that actually might have been one of the ones that we needed. I feel like there was one aspect that needed 8 of that, and we just got up to 9, so that is good as well. So even if the run putters out early, we have gotten at least something out of it. Okay, careful now. Yep, that's the guy with the crazy melee range.
The ship's helm.
Oh, and right, we purchased this from the mini shop, and this is 3. Okay, so that means we can get you, the extra use in the Guardian fight. Get you, deals 50 damage every 0.2 seconds in an area around you. Okay, then we probably want to start working our way toward you. Has big boosted damage the first time we use it. Honestly, that's very similar to the Shine of Apollo. Main difference is that we can get that 2 times per room, whereas this one is going to stay at just 1. Okay, so that means we need either this or this. I think we're taking the extra damage because now we no longer have to stand still. So, I mean, you could just load up on tons of armor, and that means that you can just have extra layer of defense as you run around with the Hex active. But that's maybe not the main thing we're looking for here. Okay, so this is giving us a small magic bonus. This is giving us a small life bonus. I think we need all the life we can get at this point. What with us having lost those Death Defiances. And I am using this. Live. You weren't supposed to do that. Oh. Okay. It does spice things up a little bit. Once again, the armored version of him is kind of a pain, especially. And this is a really long encounter. It gets longer. Oh, and that forced me into a block in part because I was body blocked there. I admittedly do not know if we take damage from the, That's really annoying. I don't know if we take damage from Icarus's attacks. We probably don't, but at the same time, he does have a specific boon that makes you take damage if you're standing in the AoE of your cast, I think it is. So yeah, we used a block, and I think we also took some damage, which kind of stinks there.
Something happened since the last time you were here. These ships, one after another, they all sank. Never seen these waters so calm. Did you?
Did we succeed on our previous service run? We actually might have.
Did I reach Kronos in my father's house and slay him?
Oh, downward, yes. We
And
succeeded.
Did he then reconstitute himself, perhaps entirely negating whatever I achieved? Also, yes.
I always knew you'd get him, Nelly. Well, as you can see, his risen fleet has risen once again. Though, sounds to me like you found one of its weaknesses.
Okay, let's see. Special boon gains plus 3 levels, but it primes 35 magic. We do have a high rarity boon there. I haven't been using it all that much. Charge moves also deal 50 damage in an area around the foes they hit, but use more magic. That is tempting. Ooh, we've seen this before, though, and it can really add up. Every time we clear 7 encounters, you get a little bit of life, and you get 2 palm slices that boost the level of a random boon. So long term, that can add up to be really helpful. Short term, this is probably worth more. That's a flat 50 damage, which, if you consider that 50 would then get doubled, and then further increased by that, that's pretty ginormous. I think I actually am. But we need the life really badly. I wish we could take this. I think we might have to take this, though. Do we get it right now? Do we have to wait even for the first shipment? I think we do. Okay. I think it's Apollo. It has to be Apollo, right? Okay, I'm bringing this out immediately. Didn't actually take damage from that. No, it sort of looked like it for a second there.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Okay, let's see. Cast inflicts daze, which does give us some defenses, although was kind of hoping that we might get the Demeter cast, since we do have Demeter precedent right now. We take damage, automatically daze all foes in the vicinity. We were looking at that before. That is also tempting. Casts expand before they expire. That's, again, technically a support secondary cast boon, not the primary cast boon. That would be this one. Are we looking from a boon quantity standpoint? We are all over the place. Fire is technically what we have the most of. Well, fire and air. I think I'm going to take this one. Mostly for the defensive reason. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, more Apollo. Hold on. More cast stuff again. Foes with daze take more damage if struck from behind. Sign me up. Crazy backstab damage. Especially if you consider that... Oh, wait. Does this apply daze? What is our main source of applying daze right now? Oh. Can I sign up? Okay.
Give me away.
Well, it's still possible we could get more sources of daze. Maybe an Apollo cast is pretty useful after all. Do you see that spear projectile? Dodge that one. Okay. Well, getting a whole lot of Apollo action right now, and that may be best to continue. I mean, yes, we have passed on palms or similar boon level upgrades in the past quite a few times. So there would be a fair bit to be gained from that, but given how we now would very much like to get more reliable source of daze application, I think we more or less would need that to come from the cast.
Last one.
That is an encouraging sign. Where'd you go? Now you're no longer armored, which makes this much easier.
Apollo. Get that, Golly.
A
Appreciate
little
the help.
rude. How about a please?
Hear me, on my authority.
Okay. So, honestly, I might not say no to this. Because it's a rarity improvement, it's more damage, it's actually not more damage, it's significantly less damage. It's mostly area of effect that we get here from doing that. We have at least 3 fire, which we do have. Whenever you take damage, restore a little bit. I think we're taking that. I know this does apply daze, and that was what I was saying would probably be the best thing, although I didn't expect we were going to get some high rarity options here. That is only common rarity.
A boon awakened.
Okay. So that immediately activates. Tiny bit more life. Maybe a little bit more useful. Would be more useful once we get back at the end of the run. But giving this a shot, doing what we can here. I think the answer is still to try our best. That is not the enemy I was aiming for, but okay. I'm trying to dash as well, but you really did not want to let me do it. I wanted to save that, but we'll do it. Does charge up. Hello, friends. Please get backstabbed. Hello, other friend. Except it was secretly the same friend all along. That was close on a few levels. There's the special. It still has some range, even if Aphrodite only gives us the damage boost at close range. Ooh, okay. This could certainly be useful right about now. Just a quick double check. Are we skipping anything here? Doesn't look like it.
The Isle of Aia.
Also just thinking back to that,
Silk of spider, tooth of shark.
the Kiss of Sticks, the mini shop upgrade that gives us a Death Defiance back that we weren't quite able to afford, and
Seeds.
that might come back to haunt us. We'll see. That gave us a little bit of healing.
Toadstool, you're just in time.
Oh? Hello.
Some nights ago, you spoke about our great ability to harbor hope. It reminded me of something that Prometheus himself had said, but I dismissed him at the time.
I also like that our Hex is now charged up and ready to go against Cersei.
I realize that hope is simply not enough for one who studied with such rigor as you did. Yet even you, I sense, approach each night with openness to it going your way.
Sometimes. When we don't stack the deck against us to a crazy extent.
But I make plans for every possibility, and I'm prepared to improvise when things inevitably don't unfold the way I want.
Right.
Preparation and anticipation, not mere hope.
Yeah, we knew what we were getting into this time. We knew this one was going to be challenging. Well, that Polyphemus was going to be the most challenging part. At least we suspected. But maybe we can still bounce back from it.
Call it whatever you prefer, but at the heart of what you describe exists a grain of something more. The source of all that drives us, like a flame. It must be nurtured, lest it die.
Okay, let's see. Store 50% of our life now. We have restored some health. So it's not as big of a deal, but any healing effects are 25% stronger for the rest of the night. That could be useful. Randomly draw one of your inactive Arcana and activate it. I mean, that's a pretty big gamble. We've definitely taken this before. And, I mean, these are kind of similar in that they're both defensive boosts, just of different varieties. This one, I mean, is more of a kind of in-between areas type of boost. It would affect our healing that comes from entering a new room, but also, you know, in general, things like the fountains, you're not seeing those at the same time that you have an enemy. Healing from shops, again, not coming in the middle of an encounter. The one exception that I can think of would be the Medea upgrade that we chose not to take. In fact, what did we end up taking from Medea? I don't even remember anymore. Whereas this one, conversely, happens when you are in the process of fighting people. So I feel like this might actually be a little bit more useful for us. And the extra movement speed is not to be dismissed either.
Everything looks so big.
Oh! Yes, we did shrink in size as well. I don't know if that actually affects our hitbox. If so... Oh. I was thinking hitbox in terms of enemies hitting us. I was not thinking about us hitting enemies. It might have reduced our range. The animation does look smaller. I don't know if that is actually a thing. It doesn't say that, but it may be a factor. Oh, we're about to go into a mini-boss fight as well. Uh-oh. Let's do this first.
Look upon me.
This one's gonna be quick, because there are a bunch of them. Probably. Probably quick, and it is pretty quick. Here we go.
Peace.
Okay. So, mini-boss, of course, we know Charybdis is a potential outcome here. We fought a fair bit of Charybdis, combined with Scylla, as of late, but I don't remember what the other enemies in this room can be. We may not have even seen all of them yet. That's a little bit concerning. But here we go. Is it Charybdis? It is not. Who are you? Have we seen you before? We might have seen you once before. Oh, that's really not who I was aiming for.
No hiding from this light.
I would love if you actually got hit by that. Ooh, okay, there's some there. Gotcha. Oh, yep. Again, we kind of saw that. The projectiles do return to him. Should have known better. Okay, that's bad time to attack you. Better time to attack you. Hello, hello. No, okay, that's... Oh my god, wow. That's a case for having faster charge up on the charge attack. Because if it was faster, we would have been fine there. But he did still manage to hit us for a lot of damage at that. That stinks. This is theoretically higher rarity. Let's see what we get. It's not great. Other than that, our attacks inflicting daze, admittedly, I thought that was something you got by default from Apollo attack wounds, which is why I thought that this was just an auto take. But we can either get it guaranteed on the cast or have a chance from the attack. I think I'm still going to go with this. Build around the attack primarily, and it means we still have the possibility of getting a Demeter cast, which is the ideal situation. I don't like the armored swords dudes. 3 of them. Definitely not what I was looking for. Especially when dodging one means you have to go straight into another. Go away. Okay, that was very helpful. Now you're armorless. There we go.
New course needs to be set.
Okay, hold on. These are the palm slices. Courtesy of Icarus. Extra damage on the sprint boon, probably not what we would have preferred. This is extra damage boost on the Omega attack. That's plus 15%, I think, which is a lot. It may not seem like it, given just how humongous we already have, how humongous some of our other backstab damage boosters are. How much is it? 250, 325, and then, wow. Yeah, it's almost 400%. If we were to upgrade the rarity on this, it almost certainly would be above 400% backstab damage. Now, combination of backstab damage plus charged attack, which, again, usually goes hand in hand, but is not necessarily always going to be the case. Is this still our only common boon? I think it might be. So it is still possible for us to take the Narcissus Keepsake to upgrade this. But we're going to have to wait a while for that to be the case, and that requires getting through the rival Eris fight, which is not a guarantee by any means. This is actually tough. Hermes usually would be the go-to answer. The problem is we've already taken damage, and we've already used a whole bunch of Death Defiances. Our health is not that high, so that is cause for concern. Getting a little more health could be useful. This gives us speed, but there's also the one that gives us the 1 or more instances of immunity, basically a block per encounter. If we were to get that, that could be huge defensively. So I think that's ideally what we'd be going for. I don't like how you turned around such that that did not turn into a backstab. Please don't run away when I'm trying to defeat you.
Out.
You're gonna, yep, do a whole bunch of those. Stop running away, you are my intended target. Nope, stop that. Now I think it's just you. I think we're safe here. Put that in. There we go. Okay.
Enough of this.
The Hex is really strong now. I just wish we had a tiny bit more of the automatic charge up so it could go a little more quickly, a little more often.
In the name of Hades.
Okay. Success chance base effects are more likely to occur except for dodge and daze. So, what does that affect then? Because those are some of the things that we have. Itch does not have... Foes take 30% of damage dealt to other... That's not a percentage chance, that's just a flat 30% all the time. Likewise, 30% all the time. That's not a... Oh, I forgot about this. This might have helped us a lot in the Polyphemus fight, as we anticipated it might have done. So, okay, this is what we ended up taking from Medea. Oh, we still have this as a common rarity boon. Okay, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if that got upgraded. But that is a percentage chance that would be bumped up to 7.5. I don't know. Can it do 7.5, or would it get rounded down to 7? Rounded up to 8? I think it can go with decimals, right? Is there anything else that benefits from that? We do have days that doesn't get affected, so that does stink. I think we just happen to have a variety of boons that do not work well with that, even though there are some times when that can be incredible. This is not a probability-based outcome. This is dodge. That is also unaffected. This, I think the application of days would be affected, so it'd go up to 22.5. But then again, the days itself still remains 20% chance of making enemies do no damage. So that is probably the most impactful component, because we apply days more consistently, which means we're more consistently getting the damage bonus here. It just feels like this is still not really the answer we're looking for. We still have 2 rerolls. I might use one here. I mean, these are not horrible, but I'm going to use one, I think. Otherwise, might be about to take this, which might not be the worst thing against Eris, though I don't know which of her range shots would qualify. She has a laser beam in the rival fight. Does that count? If so, that actually could be kind of useful. And we have no idea, of course, what Prometheus is going to have for us. He has at least one projectile in the base fight. My guess for rival Prometheus is that he would have a lot more stuff going on with the Eagle, which may mean more projectiles, but who knows? Maybe this is good enough in that case to still take it and save one of the rerolls. Okay, and this will now be the penultimate room, I believe. And we have spent fairly aggressively thus far, which means don't have a ton of gold to use here.
Thanks, little one.
Ooh. It is just enough for either this or... But we can get 2 out of 3. I would probably go Demeter for the cast. Probably the Centaur Heart, because again, a little bit lacking on that front. Let's try it.
In the name of Hades.
This is going to make us broke. Okay, this is what I was looking for, yes. This would also be really nice defensively, but a little bit of healing now. We are not on full health yet. I don't think that this could be really useful. Take this. I think that is best. Okay, so we have had a lot of trouble with Eris, the base version, in the past. She has been the enemy who has ended our run many times before. I can't remember if we've only fought the rival version once or if it's been twice. Because the one time, it seemed like it went surprisingly well. 2 times, maybe that's the charm. Maybe it'll work here as well. Big thing is, yes, instead of sort of standard bullets that she shoots, she has a bunch of laser beams, and as she gets angry, she still gets the damage boost, but she, instead of shooting 1 laser beam, shoots 2, and I think eventually 3, in a bit of a fan shape, which means if she does hit you, then I think there's just the potential for her to do way more damage that way. So positioning is really key, dodging quickly is really key. We do have the extra speed and dodge chance from that Cersei pickup, which I think should help, but our lack of range, generally speaking, could be a little bit tricky, since we're gonna have to be right next to her to deal damage for the most part, and that may mean we face tank a shotgun laser beam, or at least what will turn into a shotgun laser beam toward the end.
The rail switched up on me again. Hey, what if this is my true aspect and the other one is for somebody else? This one's even got a face like mine and wings.
Look, the only reason you can sometimes use this aspect is the Oath of the Unseen. Can't you feel the fear in the night?
Oh.
All I feel right now, babe, is an overwhelming urge to turn you into little crispy slices with this thing. You think I care about some oath? What am I, Nyx?
Yup. Here goes nothing. There's the laser. I don't even know what that was. Oh, yeah, so she changes direction, as you can see a little bit when she does the laser at times. There are definitely windows, though, to backstab her, even without much in the way of charge up, which is nice.
Stay out of this, Moon.
You say Moon? He's the sun. Oh, because he may be the sun, but that was a hex, which is coming from Selene, who is the moon. Oh, I'm thankful that you chose to do that in the other direction, because otherwise we might have been in trouble there. Oh, that's good. Oh, well. And you're about to get angry. Ooh, that does deal damage, just the little flares there. I didn't realize that. So yeah, now it's a double shot. Ooh. Oh, let's do this. Please don't dash away. Still look at that's just a stagger, just a stun. Doesn't do damage. It just seems strange to me. That's a bad place to be. Okay, got a little lucky there. It's also not a great place to be. I don't like it when you stand in that circle. Okay. There wasn't really anywhere where I was allowed to stand there. Oh, what? I don't like these guys. I hate these guys. That adds a lot more chaos to this encounter, which I guess shouldn't really come as much of a surprise. I wasn't even trying to hit her that time, to be honest with you. I was just going for the little fish. Oh, yep. Took me a split second to figure out which attack that was going to be, and it was not a good one. Ooh, there's the big laser beam. Ooh, I was close. I just went into it. No. Uh-oh. She's immune for this as well. I really want it. No! Do this. What? No! She still lived? How? Okay, I really hate those little flares. Honestly, that was one of the toughest things, was just so many times when I had to accept that I was going to get hit by those to avoid the bigger things. If not for that, we wouldn't have had to use a Death Defiance, I don't think. Unfortunately, we more or less just barely did, and I thought our last hex at the end there was going to be enough to finish her off, and that would mean the encounter was over, but then she just hit us right as that was happening, and that's, I think, what actually forced us into using that Death Defiance. But we did make it past her. We did get the Nightmare. We did get this. We did get this.
A foul shoreline that should never have existed mars the border of the rift, beyond which stately Mount Olympus looms, stricken this night by strife and fear in turn.
The other beach was quite a bit nicer.
Oh, and now I'm realizing we are once again going into the next floor with basically zero money, which means there's no way we'd be able to afford a Kiss of Styx if it does show up, which would be pretty helpful right about now, seeing as how, yes, we are about to find a healing fountain, but otherwise, we are not looking so great from a survivability standpoint. We did make it past the 2 key barriers that we knew about, at least, or the ones that we were familiar with, but there is still the risk of, well, making it to the Prometheus fight. I just want to make it to the Prometheus fight and ideally get to see some of his mechanics. We don't have to beat him per se, I just want to see the Prometheus fight. Now that we've blown through all of our Death Defiances, it does make me a little bit nervous. We could throw on the Luckier Tooth, which I'm half tempted to do, otherwise it probably would be this. But this doesn't do much in the way of short-term benefits. This is, of course, something we would typically like to save for the final floor, but if you get where I'm going with this very well may be the final floor at this rate, and I just want to make sure that we get to Prometheus. So maybe this helps us make that happen. So this is the safe pick. This is the very optimistic pick, and this could be an alternative way to at least facilitate getting to that fight. If not, then I mean, I think it's really one of those, or take something like Knuckle Bones to reduce the damage from that fight and also get a little bit of bonus damage at the beginning. I think oof. Not gonna take you, but at the same time, I do feel like this is not really. Yeah, no, we should take it. We should. I'm basically accepting the fact that we are not making it past. And once again, once again, our greed comes back to bite us as Kiss of Sticks. If we had gotten both of these, it could have been incredible getting 2 back. But, you know, as I said, we were not thinking this was going to be successful. Obviously, I'm trying. It's not like I'm attempting to fail here, but we knew we were setting ourselves up for a very difficult run. This would also be really useful too. If we had the option to sell a boon or 2 to make up enough gold to make one or both of those things happen, that would be great, but I'm afraid that is not the case. So yes, the goal remains. Just get to the Prometheus fight, ideally enough so that we can actually see some of his new mechanics. Let you guys fight each other for a second, because that does mean that we probably would like to play this very safely. Excuse me, sir. Please don't do that. Likewise. Ooh. Definitely go and hammer here, I think.
Here goes. Hello.
That wasn't enough to kill you. There's our chaos room. Okay, I am gonna do this. In large part because there was that one annoying armored enemy right next to it. And all the enemies continue to spawn right next to it. Incredible value. Hey, if you want to come over here, so I can activate this one as well, that would be great. But that works too. Okay, so hammer could be fantastic offensively, of course. Channeling your charge special faster. Not really doing charge special stuff. I think we have to skip these, and this could be really good. I think we were considering taking it on the first hammer upgrade, because it's a flat number, which may not seem that dramatic, but when you consider all of the multipliers, what did we say? We were at something like almost 400% increased damage when we backstab with a charged attack. So what looks like 20 damage, wherever it is, may actually be more like 80 damage, which, from one boon, building on top of, you know, the extra 200%, or rather 60% damage we have here, that's not bad. Okay, so obviously there's a chaos room. Obviously, we can't take it. I'm sorry, but as I said, main priority, getting to and ideally seeing at least a bit of the Prometheus fight, and that means this is way too much of a risk for us right now. Gold, if we had seen this earlier, would have been really helpful. I'm not really sure we're going to have that many opportunities to buy before the Prometheus fight, except for that shop just before. I think we really just need to take this.
Status.
Nope, nope, no. Stop that. Stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. Like the shield to get rid of this. They're a bit of a pain to get rid of. We still have our base cast, don't we? I know we passed up on several casts before. That was close. That did very little damage. That Hex. Now, theoretically, one would think a backstab build could be quite effective against enemies who hold shields in front of them. There we go. Okay, so it's a free health upgrade. We did pass on gold, but gold would have only given us 100, whereas theoretically that was worth 125. And then we may have needed that for a crafting resource. I know I said it about the mining upgrade on the previous floor, but or the mining resource on the previous floor, but I don't actually remember if it was this one or the previous one. Palm or gold. Gold is worth 100. Palm is worth 100 functionally. Yeah. I mean, we are still a little low on the monies, but how much are we really thinking we're going to buy? Basically, what this does is it makes it very likely we could buy multiple things from the next shop and or purchase something from a mini shop. Except mini shop, we would probably need to expedite the delivery of that, at which point it becomes quite expensive. I think we're going for the palm in that case, and likely looking for you to get upgraded. Or, the Apollo one on our attack, rather. Oh, hold on. They are fighting each other. It appears. Or are they just attacking the statues? They may just be attacking the statues. Do they no longer explode? Or is it just less dramatic? The animation for it. This is when we do that. I thought they got rid of that attack. I thought I remembered reading in the patch notes a while back that they got rid of the sort of vortex, whatever you want to call that ability. Maybe that was just on the previous floor, because there are some enemies of this variety on that floor as well. That's really annoying. I really did not feel like we got hit by that, but apparently we did. Ooh. Really don't like this. So let's do this. Get over here. Okay, there's our palm. That is what I was saying we'd probably like, and yeah, I think that is definitely the right choice here. Don't think any of those are golden. Okay, so I think, just double check this. I think we're looking at the health upgrade rather than the palm here. In all likelihood, we are expecting to get a shipment. Oh, I forgot. From Icarus, which does give us the palm slices, so we don't have great control over what that hits, but it is sort of a replacement for these in a way. Oh. Okay, I mean, I don't like that type of enemy, so that works for me. It does mean that you guys are... Oh, well, now you're armorless, so I do like that. But yeah, you knew that wasn't going to be the last wave of enemies. Ooh, we actually stopped that attack mid-run? Mid-animation? That's surprising. That caused a lot more people to spawn in. You are no fun. So we're hitting you. And then I am tempted to activate Zeus as well. I'm assuming that this is the last of the waves. That guy still has armor. That's insane.
Lord Zeus.
Help me, Zeus. Take him out. It's not the last wave. That's insane. That wasn't really aimed at anyone. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that was horrible value there. It's just way more crowded than I would like it to be right now, and those guys are really punishing if they do hit you. Because their attacks are just way too long. Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping we might get a helping hand here. Thank you.
It's her.
It's Athena. One moment while we pick up our goodies. We got backburner, this one here. More damage for backstabbing. Now I think it is over 100% damage boost. That was the special, which now got an extra 50%. Just a lot from just a single upgrade. Okay, we're at 210 life, which is now getting to the point where it's pretty decent for this floor. The issue is that technically we do have one Death Defiance with the one we got from the keepsake. So I guess that is something.
You are a welcome sight, Melenoi, for it has been some nights since last we met upon the battlefield like this.
That is
How
true.
fares the war beneath the earth?
Beneath the earth, it has been going fairly well.
It rages on. Night after night, the Titan's legions regroup, while he asserts that he cannot be stopped. But I'm working on disproving that. And what news here?
The mountain stands as you see, and that is what matters. Perhaps your presence and a corresponding shift in strategy shall lead us to the breakthrough that we need.
Okay. Your hex is God-sent with Athena. Effect may activate multiple times in each location. 3 more God-sent versions. Okay. Whenever you use 90 magic, up to 3 foes are struck by spears from the heavens for 150 damage. That is a lot. Whenever you take damage, you become impervious for 2 seconds. Recharge time is 13 seconds. Understandably, you're not about to get permanent immunity from this. We do already have a lot of God-sent uses on our hex. Obviously, in long boss fights, that is useful. I mean, this is not exclusively in boss fights. This time, it's for any encounter, which is useful. Still would like to see, I think, a little bit more in the way of Selene upgrades, again, to help charge up more quickly, to make it easier to spam it that many times in a single encounter, and or to just make it a little bit stronger, because it does feel like it hasn't quite been hitting as hard or as consistently as it sometimes has in the past. I thought also that on one prior occasion we had seen Athena had a boon that restores some Death Defiances, which obviously would be incredibly valuable right now. So, although this is really high rarity and is seemingly in a vacuum very useful, I'm actually not sure how helpful it is for us. So I'm a little tempted to use a reroll here. We do still have 2 remaining. I'm going to do it.
Worth the risk.
Replenish all spent uses of Death Defiance now and improve their potency. That's exactly what I was looking for. Okay. Otherwise, gain 1 additional Death Defiance that replenishes in each location? Oh, as in each room you get a free Death Defiance. That's insane. It primes 100 magic, though. That is pretty crazy. This is more valuable to us, though, since we've used so many Death Defiances. And so we're getting 3 Death Defiances here, which could theoretically all get used in one room, which may be the single most impactful thing we could have had to prepare us for the Prometheus fight, because that was the main reason why I was writing it off. But this could also make up for how we missed out on numerous Kiss of Styxes. Kisses of Styx? I don't know. Let's take it. And it also gives us more value from the Death Defiances, potentially including the Luckier Tooth. Now, of course, it means in hindsight we didn't have as much of a need for the Luckier Tooth, but it was an insurance policy. We knew. And we are just very fortunate that we may not really need it. Okay. Ooh. We get you first.
Join me.
This is a ton. This is going to go very quickly, as you can see. There we are.
Rest easy now.
Nice. Okay, so this is not quite the penultimate room. I mean, there wouldn't be a mini-boss in the penultimate room, right? It's very close to it, but this is tough. Because we don't have that much gold. We did pass up on at least 1 gold room, maybe 2. So what that means is, well, here's what we could do. We could go to this shop and then purchase what we want there, getting up to 200 gold or even a little bit above 200 gold could be kind of meaningful. And then in the penultimate room, instead of taking the shop, we go to what presumably would be an alternative with a free boon or free heart, something like that, so that we aren't caught getting nothing in that second of the shop rooms. I'd love if we went here and got a golden urn or 2.
Looks to be clear.
It also potentially gives us the ability to dodge a mini-boss, which was another reason for having not taken the previous route. We could obviously still do it if we went there, but rather not at this stage. Again, trying to put ourselves in the best position to take on Prometheus. And so here, I think it's just Hera and nothing else in all likelihood. We could technically afford the armor as well, but I think we save what little bit of money we'll have remaining. That's enough for a Charon card. Your charge moves create a fissure that deals damage, but they use more magic. Hitch afflicted foes are slain. Say that 5 times fast. Damage all other hitch afflicted foes. The hitch is coming from the dash, the sprint. So kinda, sorta just happens without us needing to think about it that much. I don't know that this is going to be a huge damage booster, but it is something. This one would be really nice. That is a big damage boost. And we are using our charged attack a lot, but I have some concerns about that costing too much magic. We do have some magic restoration. I admittedly have not been paying super close attention to just how reliably that's been getting us magic back. But if we can afford it, then that would be really useful. I thought we had one other thing that increased it, that increased the cost of our abilities, or did we pass on? Yeah, this. Charge attack deals more damage, but uses even more magic. So we already have something like that. That's a little tough to take this as well then. I mean, it does mean we potentially would be able to charge up the Hex more quickly, but at a cost, of course. Probably better for single target. This is better for large groups of enemies. Let's go single target for the boss fight. Again, if we run out of magic in the boss fight, that's going to be a problem, but I'm hoping that the magic restoration boon is big enough that that's not going to matter too much. We got the big thing we were looking for from Demeter, so I think we do pass on that. Again, also trying to play it a little bit safe going into the upcoming fight with Prometheus. This is obviously not going to be the only wave. You are obviously going to be a problem. Nope. Nope. I don't even know if that really did anything at all.
No hiding from this light.
Woo? Excuse me. I missed. Trying to get rid of at least one of you, ideally. Okay, that's one of you. But I don't like that. You're possibly the most annoying, although the dragon has been proving problematic as well. There we go. Armor. Much easier to deal with, and now we can finally focus on it. Or okay. There's the palm. We had to use a block, which is a little bit unfortunate because that could have been really valuable going into the boss fight, but let's see. Higher chance to inflict daze with attacks, I think, is the most useful here. Because applying the daze is meaningful. The damage from the revenge boon, probably not as big of a deal, and this is already going to always inflict daze. A little bit of hitch damage. Yeah, and we didn't take the whole hitch-centric ability last time. Ooh. Ooh. This could be very useful. Okay. I mean, going into a room that actually has enemies could get us up above 100 gold, which means we might actually be able to do something in the upcoming shop, which is, I think, going to be the room after this. But this still has a lot of upside.
Whoa, easy there. Not biting, Nana. I keep telling you that as a Satan, not a goat.
What?
Why, hello.
Why, hello there.
Hey, you look, did you shrink down or something, or...
It's true.
Did I grow bigger all of a sudden? Or, my head.
Oh, right. A reminder about my temporarily reduced stature. It's due to a bit of magic from my companion, the Enchantress Circe. So the effect is rather noticeable, then?
Is our art here smaller as well in this little... Cutscene is not the right word, but you know what I mean. I think it is smaller than usual.
I mean,
that's clever.
Circe, huh? I know that name. Sounds like she knows a trick or two. Maybe she'll get an invite to the next one of these.
Okay, let's see. Each encounter, grape juice appears, and it grants 100 power to the next move. We have taken this before, and it is pretty distracting, at least for me, and has oftentimes led to us taking more damage. So I'm not, even though this is high rarity, I don't know if this is actually the right choice. After each encounter, restore some life. If you took any damage in that encounter, that could be really useful. Especially if we actually do think we might make it out of the Prometheus fight. Don't want to get too carried away there, but gain a random amount of life, but how much you have becomes a mystery. We have seen this once before. That is, especially going into a fight that we've never seen before, is a little terrifying. Technically, these both would be impactful for the upcoming fight. This makes it less likely that we would have to use a Death Defiance and all that stuff. So in the fight itself, that would be more meaningful. This would be potentially more useful after the fact. Assuming that we take a whole bunch of damage, we can at least heal a decent chunk of that off once we get back out. So this is a little more optimistic. This is a little more safe. But the uncertainty of that is also annoying. I guess it's not a huge range. We have a pretty good sense of what our total health is, but I think even our current health becomes question mark, question mark, question mark, which I don't like under these circumstances.
Absolutely.
What is this guy? Is that a duck? I think that's a duck. I'm sorry, dude. You seem to be admiring this flower, but I am gonna take it.
Well done.
Okay, it actually isn't the penultimate room just yet. We have a little more time to get monies, and potentially life from this, or magic from this. I mean, you could make a case for either at this stage. I think I will still go the life route, though.
Anybody else want anything?
Okay, ideally... Oh, I was gonna say, I'd wait for you to deal as much damage to the other guy as possible. Then you spread out, and we can no longer hit the two of you, which is a little bit unfortunate. This is also definitely not going to be the last wave of enemies. I do hate this guy. Ooh, okay. Putting me in a corner there. That gold, actually extremely helpful. Make no mistake. We're about to get pinned big time. Is that the dash that actually killed that guy? It might have been. He has serious range as well. Stop that. Stop that nonsense. I do actually really like how you can interrupt the dragon's fire breath attacks somewhat reliably at that, just by hitting them as they're mid-animation. Okay, so there's a little bit of life. Ooh, Selene is nice. This might be... I think this is now penultimate room, so that means free Selene or shop with enough money to buy one boon. But I do kind of like the prospects of a free Selene. But before that, first we go here.
Her eye detects a surface ripple there.
Indeed, it does. There we go.
I caught a crystal.
That looks so cool. I want a pet of that. It's a turtle with like a crested helmet. Okay, so I think we do this. Yes, there is a chance this might give us more value, but it depends on if there is a boon, and if so, what do we get from it? And after the fact, we probably, well, we wouldn't really be able to buy anything else, of course. We don't need healing, so if that is one of the shop items, that's not great. If there were a hammer, we wouldn't even be able to afford it. If it were heart, okay. Magic, okay. I know we already have the big stuff for the Hex, but there's at least one other notable that we could get from this. Should be an empty room. Yes. So this is, we very rarely find ourselves doing this, but this is the alternative to the shop in the penultimate room, which, given how we have a fairly low amount of gold, is what I'm going for. And if we were truly going all in on just this one encounter, then you may have been able to make the case, a little bit of a stronger case for taking the shop, but I am deliberately holding onto this gold on the chance that we actually do make it out of here and have an opportunity to spend more monies after the fact. Okay, so with 3, we cannot quite get here, which is unfortunate. Although that's, I mean, yes, it's a big burst of damage, but it's kind of just similar to you. So what I'm more so looking for is, okay, more damage for the rest of the encounter. Gains more damage over time. We get armor. I don't love those effects. I would prefer automatic charge up. I mean, the gaining power after we use it, that's not bad for what's going to be a very long boss fight. But I was looking for more automatic charge up is what I really wanted. The armor is not that exciting. I think I'm going to take this, and I'm going to accept that we aren't going to get here, at least not with this current set of Selene upgrades. If we get a future one, then we are in range. That means I'm instead just going to focus on the small nodes that we like best. Means more power over time. Oh, no, more damage. Rest of the encounters. Now we have 10 additional damage after we use Hex. I think we already probably had one of those before. Then gains more damage the longer you go. A little bit of armor. I mean, maybe we'll just take this. I don't think there's any situation in which you get precisely 2 points for Selene. So, getting closer is not really that meaningful, but it is probably still the best option there, regardless. Okay, so we did make it. We did make it to the new rival Prometheus fight, which for a while there looked like that would not be possible. And make no mistake, we got quite lucky. We got bailed out quite a bit by Athena, and the reroll definitely helped us in that regard. And we may very well go down here, because we have no idea what we're getting ourselves into. Of course, one would assume this is harder than the normal Prometheus fight, but probably has some similarities to it. In the other cases, for other boss fights, we've tended to see that it's sort of like the base encounter, but then with just more extra stuff happening of some variety. Which is why I feel like that means it's most likely that we will see a lot more stuff happening with the Birdo. It might just be there the entire time, and potentially doing more nasty stuff. The memory phase move, I am wondering if that's going to be more difficult or more punishing than it usually is. Or maybe longer. Oh gosh, I hope not. But here goes nothing. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, I did not expect this.
Heracles, what are you doing fraternizing with our foe?
I did not expect Heracles to be here. Is he sticking around?
Our foe?
Oh no.
Well, you were right again, Prometheus. So then what now? She finally caught us in the act.
So, hold on. The lore implications are actually very significant here. I mean, not that Heracles was ever a humongous factor, but at least in other cases, when we had rivals, there was reason to believe that we were kinda sorta still on the same side. Like Nemesis, for example. Grumpy as she may be, we still have the same ultimate goal. It appears as though the same cannot be said for Heracles.
We fight is what, big man? Slow her at least. She shall not tell a soul that you were here. The damage it would cause her family would be catastrophic if she did.
Oh. Scandalous.
So then you're both traitors. And you expect me not to notify Lord Zeus and the others? Heracles, he's your father, yet you would turn on him.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm glad we got at least this far to see this.
Don't we all? Besides, the Titan of Foresight here knew I would, and who am I to argue? Now allow me and my club to ensure you'll forget what you have seen.
Okay, so yeah, this is not the direction I expected this to go in. May still be more things in addition to whatever Heracles is going to contribute to this fight. So it might not just be base Prometheus plus Heracles. Obviously, we have some experience against Heracles competing in the first floor, but okay. Here goes nothing. Oh, and we immediately waste one of our dodges. Lovely. Okay, yes, and our resistance is... Oh, they have 2 separate life bars. Okay, I probably should have noticed that a little bit sooner, to be fair, but... There's that. So does that mean we want to deliberately focus on one of them to get rid of them as quickly as possible? Oh, this is a bad place to put that. Or does that mean they're going to get stronger? You know, like once we get one of them, the one that remains is going to get some sort of significant buff. So that could be a thing. I really don't know which direction they're going to go in there. Most of our damage, I think, has come from our Hex thus far, which I haven't necessarily been making a point of targeting one person in particular. Yeah, I haven't really been focusing on one over the other. But this is cool. Okay, we'll have to hide this in the corner. Yup. It's aimed at Heracles for the most part, except he dodged very effectively, which is annoying. Heracles feels slower. Prometheus seems faster, for the most part. At least more mobile. And Heracles naturally does that. Find you here, ideally. See, I have split... Ooh, I practically dodged into that, although I think somehow we didn't take damage in the process. See, I've split the damage quite a bit thus far. There's a chance that's a good thing. I kind of doubt it. Okay, memory phase. Heracles is still here. Middle. Middle. Top. Middle. Middle. Top. Okay, that is not the kind of change I was expecting. It certainly did make it a lot more difficult to focus, and yet somehow we still managed to do it. So we'll take it, but that's tough. So at this point, we have now done a fair bit more damage to Prometheus than we have to Heracles. So I think, to the extent possible, I will try focus in on Prometheus. He says as he accidentally hits someone who is not... Okay, I tried to stick it in the corner, only to then trap myself. Oh, okay, more friends. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. Except the friends went away. I do like that. Really hit Prometheus. Good, good, good. Don't do that. Oh, what was that? Oh, those were his little projectiles that usually are a ranged ability. I was just standing right in front of him when he did it, which made it look quite different. Okay, hiding you. There. Ooh, how did that not hit us? That seems very fortunate. That's a slam. Oh, and projectile. I was not expecting that. Okay, aim at you. Please don't run away right when I activate that. I don't appreciate that. That was when we face tanked before accidentally. What was that? Okay, just the projectile. We are, I'm noticing, I don't have a lot of time to look at this, but we are on max magic right now, so it does seem like the magic restoration boon has in fact proved to be very helpful. Okay, there were two of them there. Oh, that was not great from a damage taking standpoint, but it was good from the standpoint of hitting both of them. Somehow we dodged that. We'll take it. We do have some sources of dodge. That was greedy. I didn't need to do that. Although we do heal off a little bit. Stuffs. Okay, again, they're both right next to each other, which is useful. Again, I'm trying to focus on Prometheus, but here we go. Top. Middle. Middle. Bottom. Middle. Top. Middle. I already forget. Top. Nope. I've lost it. I lost it. Bottom was the last. No, not bottom. Okay. Could have been worse. But that at that point is very hard. Having to memorize that many, especially when Heracles is in the process of doing some very distracting things, attacking you. Oh, nope. Not a good. Hither. Somehow we did not get punished for that. We'll take it. So Prometheus is fairly low at the moment. What was that? I used the special for the first time in a long time, but the camera angle changed and everything, which was very confusing. Made it look like it got countered or something like that somehow. Ooh, I don't like this. Friends are back. Let's focus on the big one. The friends, yeah, they do just disappear very quickly for whatever reason, which I do appreciate. That was greedy, but we didn't get punished for it, except that we did. Oh, in more ways than we should have. Ooh, this is a bad spot. Okay, I made it a little bit better. Fire's making it harder to get to Prometheus. Ooh, hello, I did not see that one coming. He is low. Nope, bad time. Bad time. That was greedy. But maybe enough to take him out. Okay. I don't know if that means he's truly down permanently, but at least at the moment, all we're working on is Heracles. Okay, if you could stop that, that'd be great. But admittedly, I haven't really been focusing on him. He's been a bit of an afterthought. We've seen some of his moves that are very obvious, like that. Other ones, though, that we may not be that accustomed to. And in general, we have less experience against him than we do relative to Prometheus, because usually he is on our side. Ooh, okay, we do not have enough magic now, which is a bit of a shame. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it's because it's harder to get closer to him safely, or at least I feel less confident without getting closer to him. Trying to farm a little bit of magic, but easier said than done. Does that help? That does help a lot, actually. Yeah, that's big. Hold on, that's what I meant to do. Please walk into it. Thank you. No, don't hit him. Oh, man. Did not anticipate that was going to sort of lock on to Prometheus there. Ooh, hello. So not that that's a big source of damage, it isn't, but it does slow him down, which is helpful to help create a little more attack windows. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know what he does now. He does have an extra shiny effect around him. Oh, okay. So yes, he does have a second phase, and he does get stronger. In that second phase, we now have confirmation. Ooh, I did not realize I was not going to be safe there. So yeah, basically all of his attacks have now gained projectiles. I think that was decent value there. So it is definitely easier, safer at least it feels, to poke him with things like the special. Ooh. Ooh, that was a good time. That was a really good opportunity. Not sure I'm necessarily going to be able to make a point of catching him in that exact moment in the future. Nice as that would be, I need to dash to the side to avoid that. That was a very lucky dodge. I don't know what he's doing. Decent. Ooh, that was very lucky. Lost sight of him, which is concerning. What's he doing? Jump, maybe? Nope. Side dash that time. Doesn't really have a cooldown for that, does he? Oh, wow. The healing is definitely starting to add up as well, as we hoped it might. Ooh, I didn't dodge to the side. I was also kind of waiting for that. I think we're going to have to use Death Defiance here. It would be awesome if we didn't, but I think that's going to happen. In all likelihood. I dodged into it! Oh, what a terrible mistake. Ooh, and I dodged that. Sheer luck. Not a skill factor. Where is he? Okay. Close. As was that. It's doing. It's not what I was expecting. Let's get him with that. It's big. Yep, it's that. See him? He's doing this. Hit him. Is it over? It's over. We avoided a death defiance. Incredible. So close. Oh, so tense.
Just as you did yours. For this was bound to happen as it did.
But that was really cool.
Even with Heracles,
Oh, man. That was tense. That was exciting. I like that one a lot. Take that. We'll take this.
I can use this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that definitely did come down to just memorizing what the abilities were. Prometheus was just about the same. It was mostly that, yes, there very much were just more things happening because there was an entire new enemy there. One that we'd never seen before. And we did not know what to expect once Heracles got enraged in the second phase. But once you did get the hang of it, it became doable. Now, having a little more consistent and reliable ranged abilities definitely would have helped a lot against Heracles. That's one of the reasons why he was a little bit trickier to deal with. But we pulled it off nonetheless.
It seems that the perceptive Titan who defied the king of the Olympians and one of that king's strongest and most fearsome sons are battling as one, on the same side.
Unfortunately.
It seems that way for sure.
So yeah, it's more complicated, that fight, but it doesn't feel unreasonable. So again, important distinction. Compare that to the first fight, the Polyphemus fight. Honestly, I still think that's more difficult. There's still more of the arena that is being affected by various attacks. More often it feels like you get caught in a corner where you have nowhere to go, you have no choice but to get hit by an attack, or get hit multiple times by a high damage attack. Plus you have the poison, which then requires you to run over to one of the healing locations, at which point you may also take damage trying to do that from other enemies, because you're trying to beeline it straight to one of those poison healing spots. So that's just still feels like the odd fight out. Okay, and we are back up to full health. And because we skipped one of the shops, it means we still have a not huge amount of gold, but we do have some gold. It does mean that we didn't actually need the luckier tooth, which we, as we were saying at the time, thought may have ended up being the case, although, you know, we'll take that. It's the insurance policy that we took out meant that we may not have gotten a keepsake bonus on that floor that we might have otherwise benefited from, probably you. But we were also considering taking this, so, and that wouldn't have had any long-term benefits either, so I think probably just holding on to you for a second floor in that case. And do we do anything here? Mystery boon after 4 encounters. There will be a super shop at the end of this floor. Obviously, this floor has some mini-bosses on it that can be very challenging. So, even though we are past the greatest mystery on this floor, it is still not over yet, and the Typhon fight itself, which we can now focus on a bit, is obviously challenging as well. There will be a super shop at the end of the floor, so if we buy this now, that means we won't have much remaining, but I still think we'd go for it. Let's proceed. Okay, and this helps because I do see a little bit of extra gold from that to make up for the gold that we just spent. And then... Ooh.
Go for it, Golly. Why, thank you.
Okay. Oh, we actually have a decent amount of that. Honestly, at first I thought that was a mining resource. And I was like, I don't remember us getting much of that on this floor, so that intrigued me, but no, I think that's a little less useful for us. Okay, but even the normal rooms are tough here. Can't take those for granted, and there may be some Typhon factors as well, even for those.
Typhon.
Yep, like that. That's what I meant. Oh. I don't even know what it was that took out the enemies, because I was not over there attacking them at the time, but I guess that works. Is that golden? No. Ooh, that was bad. Ooh, okay. Activate dodge mode. Let's do heat seek. Okay, no bonus reward in this room. Ooh, okay. So, getting Selene means we get the notable, which gives us a big burst of damage with the first hex we use in a room. Then the other passive bonuses that remain were not that exciting. So, we may actually pass on Selene here. I know I was saying a little while ago that I wanted more Selene stuff, and then we did get a little bit more, but it just seems like, for whatever reason, the fully upgraded Selene doesn't seem quite as intriguing this time round, though maybe I'm selling it short. Maybe because the hex doesn't seem quite as powerful as it usually is, and maybe that's because we really have been leaning on that extra burst of damage from the first use of the hex that comes from a fully upgraded Moonbeam, or whatever this one is called. Whereas high rarity Apollo, in that case, I mean, we have a lot of Apollo boons. We don't have a legendary. We don't have a duo. We do have... Oh, no, we do have... oh, no, this is the God-sent hex, if you want to count that as duo. We have Apollo's duo in that case, but point being is there are still some high-rarity Apollo boons that we could benefit from a lot. We do have one reroll, which we could use there, whereas that wouldn't be a factor here. I might... I think this is more of an uncertainty, but the upside is definitely higher. Maybe. Also, which one do we get? We get these guys. I think these guys are easier. Of course, I'm saying this before the fight, which means I have now jinxed it.
Time for a dazzling display.
Ooh, stuck in the corner. I don't remember if those guys respawn or not. I don't think they do. Ooh, that was a bad use of a block, though. Oh, I'm stuck in the corner. There are some little edges there that do get you caught. A little deceptive. I see that. Excuse me. Also kind of waiting for that. Thank you. Ooh, I was hoping they would do a little more damage, though. Oh, that was another bad use of a block, because I got a little greedy trying to move in to take those guys out. Okay, now they're gone. Now just focus entirely on these guys, which, to be fair, I probably should have been doing from the onset. We get one of them down, then I feel like it becomes much easier to start moving into the backstab damage. Kind of hesitant to do that until we are looking at just having one remaining. Ooh, that was bad damage. I should have avoided that. I also have no idea which, if any, of these guys is significantly lower than the other, health-wise. May or may not be a thing. Did we get rid of one? No, we did not get rid of one. deceptive. Hello. It's easier to do a quick special in large part because it has range. Whereas our attack doesn't really do that. And I'm kind of waiting on this. Maybe I should have waited for you to get a little closer before I did it. Ooh, nope, other way. And now I've lost track, of course. One of them, I think now, is probably a bit lower than the other, but I think it's this one here in the corner right now. Might be wrong about that. He's still low. They're both incredibly low, which means we probably split the damage between them almost perfectly, which is annoying. Did we get rid of one of them? We might have, actually. Yeah, the attack projectiles that they create are a little misleading because it almost looks like this animation here where they burrow underground, which makes it a little unclear. Like, did he just disappear? Okay, there we go. Grand scheme of things, didn't take that much damage in that encounter, so that's pretty good.
This is your grave.
So we're accepting this, and we may very well re-roll it. Let's see. It's wishful thinking, I think, in most of these encounters. Maybe the mini-bosses could work. Expand the cast size. It's not bad, honestly. I think I might go for this, because that means easier time freezing more enemies. Otherwise, we re-roll and we try to see if we can get a duo or a legendary boon. Which, if we don't use... I mean, this is pretty good. There's a chance we re-roll and get something that's worse, so I'm not going to use the re-roll here. Save it for... Basically, that means it's going to have to be the super shop in all likelihood. We will potentially get one more... Yep, this is a good use case for the extra... Oh, dear. The extra area of effect, and that was a trap that I should have known I was stepping on. And that's... very bad. Can I destroy that from afar? I'd love to. It's basically a slightly weaker version of the mini-bosses we were just fighting. But yeah, took a lot more damage in this room than we really ought to have. However, we do get a little bit of healing here. In fact, that's enough to get maximum life once again. Get that. We get an upgrade for extra dose. Don't know what that is. What was that? Huh? Which one was that? Oh, here. Okay, the extra chance of double hit on the attack. Still a low percentage. Supernova. The cast getting bigger. Okay, gets even bigger still. This is the random shipment. It turns into a Hera. Okay. This would allow us to upgrade all of our common boons to rare. We don't have that many common boons, but we're no longer going to have that chance of using the keepsake to upgrade them that way, so we get you upgraded to rare. I thought there was one more. No, that's X-related. I thought there was one more. Just not sure that's reason enough. Otherwise, casts damage any foes as they join the encounter, wherever they appear, or wherever Hitch-afflicted foe is slain, damage all other Hitch-afflicted foes as well. I mean, this in crowded rooms could be helpful, and honestly, the Typhon fight can get quite crowded, so that's actually not horrible for Typhon. This is also kind of a crowd control related thing. I don't remember if this applies the cast effect when it deals this damage, because if it does, that means we're freezing enemies as they enter, and that would be incredible. Maybe that's worth giving a shot. I mean, otherwise I feel like these are all kind of similar value. Let's try this.
Our bond renewed.
And I don't get why it seems as though these guys... I guess they were in here from the onset. They didn't really enter the room, so to speak, so maybe that's why they didn't take the damage from our cast. It's only enemies that spawn in midway through who do. Like these guys did. Please don't hit me with that. I don't like it. Can you do that? That's useful. Honestly, we're not that far away from being at that threshold, but it would spawn a mini-boss, which I'm not interested, or sort of a mini-boss. Not that interested in going that route. Nor can we. Super Palm, which probably would be most meaningful to upgrade the attack boon, or high rarity Aphrodite, which again is probably looking for legendary or duo boon type of situation, and we still have yet to use the reroll, so we can fish for it a little bit. Might prefer this. Alternatively, did we get the Aphrodite boon that primes a little bit of magic, but gives us a flat amount of attack damage? I don't think so, because obviously we have full magic right now. So that might also be really good. Let's go for it. What boss do we get? We get... oh, this one, which we have less experience with. This one is very crowded. I don't remember how best to approach this one. Oh, okay, well the answer is not like that. Or that. Yeah, I remember I think despite... oh no. Okay, you do need to attack the eye that rolls around. I thought I remembered that actually was not all that helpful. But apparently that's not the case. Apparently the other main eye is immune until we do this. Ooh. At least maybe until it opens up like that. Because does this actually deal damage to the main Eye of Typhon when we hit it? I'm not sure that it does. Or maybe it actually makes this open up. Okay, that is doing damage. Ooh, okay, that does big explosion, but it's gone now. It comes back. So I don't understand whether we want to target it in that case. I thought I was escaping that. I was not. See, I don't understand if we want to focus on the little, or the not so little, the large rolling eyeball, or the big one that has the main life bar on it. There's very little room to maneuver. That's also not what I was aiming for. You make a big explosion, so you don't want to be anywhere near that. But does that at least deplete a lot of the life out of the Eye of Typhon, or does it have to deplete a whole lot of life to do this? It does. Okay, that's what it does. It depletes a whole lot of life when it sends that out. So, sort of indirectly, it means that taking out the big eyeball that rolls around is beneficial. Love to be able to shotgun a bit. Ooh. The Hex. Excuse me. Can still get you when the eye is open, and that does do a lot still. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. It does seem like maybe just dropping one of those occasionally on top of the main eye is still useful, and then this, and then you try to escape, and then you do this, and then you do this. That gets rid of the eye there, and that means it wouldn't have enough life, I don't think, to send out another one. I don't know if it's going to kill itself. Do that. That would seem strange in that case. Or just stops doing it altogether now, maybe? That's what it seems. There we go. Okay, we learned a fair bit about that encounter, because I know we've seen it once before, but it was a bit overwhelming that first time. And we took a fair bit of damage, but honestly,
How many more of those does
not
Typhon
a
have?
crazy amount. And that's the last mini-boss.
Behavior now, gorgeous.
Oh.
For I present to you our most resplendent queen.
Oh.
No stranger to the ways of war, or to extinguishing the wretchedness that festers in the hearts of the wicked. Behold, our Lady Hera.
So it is duo. I thought we'd seen the duo between these two before, and usually you only get this special announcement when it's the first time seeing this boon.
I think we're past the need for
Oh no,
support,
Hera. No, we
Aphrodite.
haven't seen this. I take it back.
But then, more goddesses ought better understand the need to keep appearances, even in troubled times. Especially in troubled times.
Yeah, no, we've seen Aphrodite plus Demeter, I think is the one I was thinking of. So what is this? As long as multiple foes are in an encounter, automatically inflict a charm on one of them. So random curse? That could be quite useful. I mean, honestly, this would be really nice as well. This would also be... All of these are fantastic, but I think we have to do this. Obviously, you look at that and you say, oh, but Lids, it's going to be a boss fight. There are going to be a lot of times when there's only one enemy, but as I was saying, there are actually a fair number of ads in the Typhon fight, so I think this will be active a fair bit, and we haven't taken it before. Minimum foes for auto charm is 2. Of course, it also means that it may not be Typhon who gets affected by this, which is kind of unfortunate. So you could still make the case that one or both of these may be preferable. What is it that applies weak for us? Nearby foes. This is basically just 20% more damage to Typhon all the time, which is really tempting. I'm gonna do this, but mostly because I feel like I'm obligated to do it. Probably would actually prefer to take one or both of those. Okay, but we have almost 400 gold, and I think this will now be the shop in the penultimate room if I can find out where we leave. Also, that actually was really important that we got that extra little bit of gold there. There it is. So now we're up above 400, which may be an important threshold. We are almost going to be at full life going into this.
Something you can use in here.
Thank you, Hermes. We don't need the healing. We... Well, that's exactly 400. I think that is almost certainly the play. Yeah, has to be, right? More or less has to be.
I accept this message.
Okay, whenever we clear encounters, random boon gains rarity. It's a little late for that. This giving us 1 instance of damage immunity going into this fight. Honestly, you could say, oh, yeah, that's so meaningless when you're going to have a very long encounter. However, Typhon hits really hard. So in terms of how much health that actually means you're saving, it could be a surprisingly large number unless we, you know, get poked with a small attack initially. Otherwise, you do this, and it makes our cast a little more than just a crowd control tool. It turns it into, I mean, obviously it does do some damage, but this makes it more of a damage dealer. Otherwise, this is our last chance to reroll, so we could do that if we feel like we are not a huge fan of these. I just feel like there is a chance that we brick completely with a reroll, and we're looking at stuff that is not amazing, but it is still half decent. So unless we got super lucky and did happen to reroll into a legendary or duo boon, I'm not sure we can do much better, and, you know, what are the chances of that? I don't know that we have the Demeter boon yet that gives us the extra freeze duration. That might be the one other thing we could benefit from. I guess I'll do it.
Let's do it.
And... oh, we saw this before. We opted not to take it because, yeah, we were using a maximum rank keepsake. That is also the case here. So that does kind of stink. But this is the other thing that I was talking about. Freeze duration, maybe on Typhon, well, even on Typhon is kind of helpful, but helps a lot with the crowd control when things get busy. Lots of ads. So I think that's, as I said, that was basically what I was looking for. Maybe the extra damage on the cast would have still been better, but I think you could make a case either way there. All right, so... oh, all right. We have a tiny bit more gold. Nope, not enough to make a difference. If you had told me after the Polyphemus fight that we would make it up to Typhon with all of our Death Defiances and practically full health, I definitely would not have believed you. But here we are. And this is a normal Typhon fight, because we've done now all of the fear-increasing stuffs. Those are in the rearview mirror, which is the benefit. This also would be 6 fear, I think, which means we would get the extra bonus. That would be huge. Oh, Why am I doing a charged special? Charged attack is what, if anything, I should be going for. Okay. Ooh, that was bad. That was also, that's a huge damage dealing attack, so not bad that we got a resistance off for it, but also should be dropping that just for the sake of getting a little bit of damage. It's still backstab, even from a decent range here. It's not bad either. It's about to slam on us, I think. Oh, or do whatever this is, which I'm honestly not sure about. That one I still hate. Oh my god, the shotgun ability of that is insane. Okay, yeah, there's a... Oh dear. It's that. It's that attack, which is just a pain to try to dodge. There was a case to be made for trying to save a hex for when we get the first phase. I think this is the first time we've actually dodged that. Oh, and here it is. I think? No, not quite. This is ads.
So this is how monsters are made.
Apparently. I'll take your word for it, though. I won't ask too many questions. I'm deliberately trying to save our hex for the actual dude. I feel like this is a waste because he's gonna phase soon, and we're gonna wish that we had it for that, but oh well. Saw that one coming that time. Maybe a little bit lucky though. What's he doing? Run! It's so hard to avoid that attack. This is gonna be a big slam that's gonna hurt a whole lot. Okay, I'm saving this one. Saving this hex for the Zeus phase. So I think that's coming soon. I hope that's coming soon. Oh, thought that meant the big projectile was coming soon, and it didn't, which surprised me a bit. I couldn't dodge because I was too close. That's the downside of having this... oh, what's going on? It's the downside of having the close range attack. Okay, I did manage to get out in time. That go around. Okay, there it is. This is what I was saving the hex for.
Show your face again, Typhon.
It's easier to backstab it as well, I think.
End this now,
okay, do this. Do that. Do that. Do that. It's not backstab. It's not exclusively backstab, at least. Okay, then we break this out as quickly as possible. Okay, that, I feel like we got a lot of value out of that. That was big. That was bad, though. Please stop that. Ow. What's he doing? This. Okay, that's fine. Oh, we don't have the magic. Oh, we can get some by standing here. Was it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. It might have still been. So maybe we can... Oh. Come on. Oh. Okay, ads phase. I'm amazed this is taking so much damage. Oh, I don't like you. Don't like you one bit. And I might even use this. That feels like a bit of a waste, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I think this guy could be really problematic if we didn't do it. Doing this, which is annoying. Okay, that's a slam that I'm gonna be in the way of. We do this. So another one of these, which is, yep, gonna hit us. Okay, that's one Death Defiance, but we have a lot. Thank you, Athena. It's the first one we've used since that happened, which is kind of crazy. slam. I am getting better at recognizing those. It's just that sometimes we get locked into animations that basically mean oh, he does it twice? I don't remember seeing that before. Just sometimes we're locked into long animations with a large string of attacks. That means I can't use that multiple times. Or I can't dodge as quickly as I want to dodge, I should say. Oh! Okay, dodge one. Is he doing it again? He is. This is slammed. I'm going to have to tank. Dodge one. Dodge two. Never mind. Hex him. He has to be getting close, right? Oh, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Hit him with this. Come on. Get him. We don't know how much health he has, though. Dodge one. Dodge two. Oh, the second one is so fast as well. Oh, we got him. It might have even been a revenge boon. Do we have one? I don't know. I didn't feel like I was attacking when he went down, but we'll take it. Somehow, some way, we completed the run, and that is our highest heat ever on the surface. Enough so that I believe we just got the reward that honestly wasn't even much on my radar, because it just did not seem like this was going to be possible. So we got extremely lucky. Don't get me wrong. Without that Athena boon, we would have been in really rough shape. Technically, I suppose, we would have still made it through the Prometheus rival fight, because we didn't use any Death Defiances on that, but we did use a couple on this one here. So, you know, we've certainly found our fair share of tough runs that we've fallen short on, but every once in a while we get a run like this. It maybe helps make up for that a bit.
The hopeless threat of Typhon, whom the princess of the underworld sent howling toward the earth from which he sprang in all his rage, subsides, but only for the night.
All right.
The family can enjoy a moment's rest.
I think that is Typhon success number 3 or possibly 4, so definitely significantly less than we have against Kronos.
This world is filled with monsters large and small, and for the most part, they are not unstoppable, as evidenced by our Dark Princess of the Dead, who thus decides to take a little break.
What?
Excuse me?
Return to Shadow now.
Alright. So that is a big, big win for us.
A night well spent.
Night well spent after all.
That ought to slow Typhon a bit. Or make him even angrier.
So, I mean, you could argue that means that became our most rewarding run yet, having gotten the Nightmare bonus, not only seen, but defeated the new rival Prometheus fight, and then still defeated Typhon at the end as well.
The Titan has your family in his thrall, or worse. What has he done with them?
And we did have that absolutely absurd percentage of backstab damage, although it's kind of hard to apply backstab damage at times against Typhon.
Stand forth, witch! Beyond these thrice-cursed grounds lies only death. Are you prepared to relinquish your own life's blood for that which you seek? Or shall you turn back?
If I turn back, it's basically a dead end, Spirit. Sounds like I face a dead end either way. I have to check with some of the others, so...
Go for it then.
The other thing that I was just thinking of was there is a prophecy, and obviously plot-related stuff, that comes from unlocking Dora's old memory that she's sealed away, and we do not yet know how to do that, but... And so I was kind of thinking, oh, okay, maybe that's just going to happen eventually once we have enough successful runs. We don't have to target it all that much with specific stuff. But given how we have now had our fair share of successful runs and that has not yet happened, I do wonder if maybe we need to take some alternative approach. And since Dora is the designated NPC for decorating and using our prestige to purchase stuff, I do wonder if getting that memory is actually locked behind using that feature, because we haven't done it at all yet. So there may be reason for us to go that route in the relatively near future in that case.
You used to know everything that was going to occur, didn't you, Lord Moros? Up until recently, from what I gathered.
I can't imagine.
Well, imagine it being rather dull, always knowing what's to come. But now I'm no different than you. How do you get by like this? Many surprises are unwelcome, yet there also can be pleasant ones, true?
Indeed.
I'm sure it helps that I don't know it any other way. This must be very difficult for you.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy to have spent your whole life knowing what was going to happen, I assume just because he works so closely with his sisters, the Fates, and then to suddenly not have that be the case anymore. Completely life-changing.
Yes.
Okay, did we have anything?
Let me see.
Here? I mean, so this is obviously one of the big things we're trying to do, though we do not yet know how to do it.
Salutations.
And more trash. We obviously, in order to defeat the rival Prometheus, also faced and defeated all of the preceding rival fights on the surface, which we did not have a lot of experience with, and I stand by. Polyphemus, the hardest one.
Oh, what gives? The adamant rail's back to normal. I must have hit a hidden switch on it or something, but it doesn't even work here, let alone transform.
Take the hint, Eris. You may be the bearer of the rail for the time being, but it doesn't answer to you alone, even if it lets you aim and shoot.
And it's probably a good thing that even if it isn't transforming, even the base version, she's not allowed to use, she's unable to use in here, otherwise, my goodness, the amount of mayhem she would cause, amount of strife.
If only it let me aim and shoot right now. You better not
No.
be behind this trouble, or if you are, you change it back. I liked it more the other way.
Maybe we should take the gun away?
It can hear you, you know.
Oh. Okay, let's see. Anything else over here? Doesn't look like it. Oh? Hold on. Didn't we basically do all the recipes we had the ability to do previously, and now there's new stuff showing up here, potentially?
As we improve ourselves, so does our
Oh,
craft.
oh, right. Right. Oh, this is terrifying. Yeah, so now that we've defeated the third rival on each floor, Cerberus and Prometheus, we now have the option of doing a rival fight version of Kronos and Typhon, which would obviously at that point be the final version of the rival fights in either direction, but that's not exactly something that I'm especially keen on doing. I mean, honestly, on the surface, if we could just skip Polyphemus, I would be okay with it. I think I still prefer the rival Eris and the rival Prometheus. Yeah, it's more difficult for sure, but it was fun, it was engaging, it was interesting, so I wouldn't say no to it, but it's all Polyphemus. Then on the other side, Hecate, you have to be careful, but it's not too bad. Scylla and the Sirens plus Charybdis, of course, we've now learned is not necessarily a pushover. And then Cerberus, we've only fought once, or was it twice? But it went fairly well at that. May have just been because we had a strong build that matched up well into that fight. Hard to read too much into that. And then, you know, we've had a lot more successful runs taking on Kronos than we have taken on Typhon, so I feel more confident in the Kronos fight than I do the Typhon fight. So for that reason, if we were to try the Super Kronos or Super Typhon fight, I would probably lean more toward Kronos. It does also require that we use our precious Zodiac Sand, which still exists, but we don't know if/when we may lose that. I do kind of like sitting on 10, because I feel like at some point that very well may be the cost of this dissolution of time. But okay, we'll at least give ourselves the option of doing this.
Chaos, heed my voice. In your potential, I have made my choice.
But I'm just telling you right now
So mote it be.
that I may not ever look to do those. Not especially excited about that.
Kronos must believe he has the upper hand now that Olympus has the father of all monsters bearing down on them night after night. But he has made a grave mistake.
Because we just beated Typhon.
Typhon cannot be controlled. If he no longer had Olympus to contend with, he would probably come after Kronos next. There must be some way we can redirect his rage.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
If not his rage, the very nature of his being. I have always taught you that our craft is never to be used for destruction alone. But no rule is immutable. Let us use our enemy's strengths against them, to rid us of them all.
Is this going to give us the craft to permanently defeat Typhon, perhaps?
We do as we must.
Incantation learned. Oh? Is that here?
Typhon does not belong in this world.
Yes. That is exactly what this is. Disintegration of monstrosity. Okay, so this is interesting. Getting rid of Kronos requires Zodiac Sand and Entropy. So, a Chaos, difficult reward to get, and the reward you get from... Or, actually, do we know that about Entropy? Or do I just assume that's going to be the case with Entropy? We may not have actually ever seen Entropy before. The Zodiac Sand, obviously, you get from defeating Kronos. But to get rid of Typhon permanently, you need not only the item you get from defeating Typhon, but also the one you get from defeating Kronos. So that functionally means you're gonna need to beat Kronos more than you beat Typhon, which probably does make sense for several reasons. You unlock the surface later than you unlock the underworld, of course. It seems like there are several ways in which the game admits that the underworld is easier than the surface, so that does seem to be by design. You know, things like, oh, you need to get a higher fear value in the underworld than you do for the surface in order to get the bonus reward from Skelly, stuff like that. But okay, we were wondering if we would see that show up, and now it's there, so that is really big. Obviously, we can't afford it right now. We don't even know what it's ultimately going to cost, but just to have that on the table is big.
Good evening, broker.
Oh. Yeah, we have no bones. Unless we sell those guys, in which case we have a small amount of bones. Not getting anything big here, but if we wanted to continue using our nectar, we may want to do, because we've been trying to progress our relationship with both Dora and with Odysseus.
I'm starting to get the feeling maybe I liked this stuff back when I had eyeballs and so on.
Oh? Also, I mean, there's a chance this could be the way that you get Dora to remember her past.
Doesn't matter whether you liked it then. What matters is you like it now.
I don't think that's going to be the case, but it's possible. Okay. We're getting close. Maybe. Possibly. Wait, say that one? Yeah, she wants nothing more this night.
I shall return.
Okay, Dora.
Well done.
Thank you, Odysseus.
We've not too many shades all the way out on the Olympus front. Only a few brave souls. They're saying that you met Lady Athena face to face. How is she holding up?
She was extremely helpful. I can tell you that much.
Considering she's holding back great numbers of the Titan's forces single-handedly, she seems remarkably composed.
Oh, you know, admittedly, I did not really think of it from that standpoint. I mean, sure, she's fighting many enemies, but you would think so are many of the other gods and goddesses? So I guess that's the thing, is I didn't really think of it as Athena alone fighting all these enemies.
I'd ask you thank her for the times she may have saved my skin, but discretion's for the best.
Okay.
You sure I shouldn't say anything?
Oh?
Aye.
Okay. You really sure? He doesn't want a nectar. However, he may be able to use one of those, because I thought I saw... Okay, it's the visit to the taverna. Okay, well, first let's plant stuff so that way we benefit from spending more time. And now we pick everything up all at once, courtesy of a recent upgrade that we acquired.
Grow and flourish.
This is also pretty rare. Guess we'll do this. We'll do this, and in truth, some of these things will actually be done growing. I think. We'll create some space once we take a trip to the taverna. Let's just see if there's anything else we want to do first. No sign of Nemesis. Have a new with Hypnos. No one hanging out over here. Okay, so I think we do gift this now then.
If you're not too caught up in your reports right now, what do you say we put this bottle of ambrosia to its proper use?
And I'm not sure we've actually gone to the taverna at all with anyone yet. This might be our first time. For many of the other places, after we first unlocked them, we had at least one person who we could take there fairly soon. But I think this is an exception.
I am caught up in my reports, Goddess. Focused on what matters most. Meet you at the taverna.
All right.
We mortals had what we called wine, an acrid sort of drink made of crushed grapes. We'd sometimes say it tasted as good as ambrosia, but it most certainly did not.
I don't think you want Dionysus to hear you saying that.
You speak of so many hardships from your mortal days and nights, and yet there's always this sense of longing there. You miss those times, don't you?
Such moments and occasions do occur. I know a lot more now than I did then, and sometimes I miss that feeling, knowing less. Or the camaraderie of sailing with my crew.
But many of your crew are with you here now, right? Even the shade of your old dog. How can you miss them if they're still around?
Oh?
The shades, goddess, and not all quite as whole as I. Besides, you still can miss your past with those you still know now. Remember when you used to play at hiding with our good witch back when you were very small?
And this is an interesting point that he raises, because I was thinking about that a little bit before, how most of the mortals that we see, when they arrive here at the crossroads, they're shades, and they have very limited ability to do things and communicate with us. But then we have Odysseus, who was mortal, and yet he's seemingly doing everything the way he used to do as a human, and as an alive human. So he just was, for whatever reason, far less affected upon entering the underworld relative to all these other people who turned into shades, and I don't know if we have a reason for that, other than, of course, he's Odysseus! Plot armor for him!
I never thought that we were playing. She was teaching me to hunt for unseen prey. But I do see your point.
Well, my original point was merely that this ambrosia's really something else. Let us ensure it does not go to waste.
All right. It's a good sound effect for that.
I'd not realized how much I needed that. It's true what they say, that ambrosia tastes much better in good company.
Oh.
Of course.
Cheers, Odysseus. Out of curiosity, does it automatically just show us whoever is closest to us, not who we necessarily spoke to most recently? We take a few steps closer to Odysseus, and now it goes back to showing us Odysseus. Obviously, we can't do anything else with him tonight, but okay, he may now be the person who we've progressed our relationship with the most.
Full bloom.
Plant all this stuff, we get more freebies. Think. Maybe. We also just have room now to do that. Alright, I think that's everything for us here. If we head down this way, I'm curious. What, if anything, Skelly has to say, because I believe...
The Vow of Rivals is at full potential now.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, now we can go full Vow of Rivals if we really want to, which gives us 12 fear. We did get at least one round of Skelly's bonus.
And glory is yours. A third of it, anyway.
So we get a third of that stuff there. Let's see what Skelly has to say. We'll check it out after that.
The deed is done.
And now, unto the champion of night, the spoils.
Huzzah!
Oh.
It is a statue.
Commander, is that supposed to be me?
Oh dear.
It is Night's champion, foretold by fate. She who shall strike fear into the hearts of those who stand against the realm and stuff like that. I can see you're at a loss for words, such as the splendor of her likeness. And this is just the first of them.
Indeed. And are the other gifts just as, detailed? Either way, I'm not so certain I can handle twice, let alone 3 times the glory, when my task is difficult enough as it is.
Ah, so then the fear is getting to you. Do not give in to it, young
Clever.
one. Instead, give in to curiosity about those other glorious gifts. Think of the prestige. Now you can be a little scaredy quitter or Knight's champion. Which is it gonna be?
Do I have to decide this instant?
Nah, you take however long you need.
Oh, that was clever, playing off how, yeah, that mechanic is in fact called fear, and I suppose I am a little fearful
May need to take new vows.
of increasing it even more to reach those thresholds. I mean, obviously, we still benefit from getting the extra nightmare, but You know, pushing it up to, what was it, 16 for the Underworld? That's a lot. This special
This
shade
must be quite a change from Thessaly.
we apparently got from the Rift of Thessaly. You're still here, our biggest fan. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, there's the first statue. Yeah, upon closer inspection, that does appear to be our hairstyle. It does seem like that's supposed to be us. It's, you know, not quite our style, maybe. Alright. But that means we have now achieved several very big things with that run. Especially, as I said before, given how unlikely it was looking for us to succeed there, the fact that we did manage to pull that off was a minor miracle, and yes, Athena had a lot to do with that. But hey, we still saw it through. As for what we plan to do next, this could be a good pausing point on the full-blown runs, and may mean that we now shift gears to the Chaos Trials, because I imagine we now have a lot of those saved up that we have yet to try.
Chaos.
Yes, that definitely appears to be the case. And so we may find ourselves just doing that until the next update, which we expect to be full release. There's a chance we'll still do some full-blown runs, especially since there are still a few things we might be interested in trying to do more of, like maybe get more successful runs, get some of those big crafting resources, maybe progress the plot, maybe free the fates, maybe remind Dora of her past. Some of those things, we don't know how we progress, so maybe we'll end up saving those and just go for the Chaos Trials. Either way, I suppose I'm just saying, don't be surprised if that is the direction we end up going in next time around. But either way, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.